Greetings everyone and welcome to another episode of the GnM Podcast, joined by Conor and also my fellow co-host Nathan.
Yep, hello.
Yeah, and this is a special episode of the GnM Podcast because it's dedicated really to the Game of the Year award nominations, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But
we're gonna play a little game, aren't we?
Yeah, what we're basically doing is this is going to be designed around the Jeff Keighley Video Game Awards, called The Game Awards, which is on December the 6th, I believe it is.
I think so. It's that on December the 3rd, I'm not sure.
It's early December anyway, and anyway, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a little bet. So me and Nathan are going to be obviously seeing the Game Awards at. They're obviously going to be. It's December the 3rd, by the way, 2015, when the Game Awards are.
Yeah.
But me and Nathan are obviously going to go see Star Wars at the end of the year, and I want a free ticket. So what we're going to do is
I want a free ticket too. I'd just like to point that out. I'm not made of money.
We're going through all the categories, and we're giving our predictions of what we think will win each category, and then we'll add up all our scores after the awards, and then whoever wins gets the other person to buy them to ticket when we go see Star Wars at the end of the year. But we also have a side for the community to do. The lovely people over at the Pavilion have gave us 50 codes to give away for you to participate in the next beta, which is a week on Friday is when it starts, and you get all access to all betas after it. So what you've got to do to join that is basically comment your predictions for each category and take part in the competition, and that way you'll get a free code. The first 50 people will get a free code because we only have 50 codes, and then do with that what you will. And if you don't want a code, just do it anyway, and I'll read through them, and that'll be cool. What else have we got to say that's going to be different? Oh yeah, we're going to be skipping questions this week because it was going to be taking a while doing these categories, and then we'll definitely go through them next week. And we've got a good few discussion topics as well later on in the episode. And also thank you to Ben from Basingstoke and Jacob from Denmark, who sent us the Rocky poster in the book. Thanks a lot for that. That was really cool. And yeah, I think. And if you want to send us anything, the PO box is in the description. So, have I missed anything out?
I don't think so. I can't think of anything else right now, but I'm sure something will come.
I tried to get through as quick as I could. So, let's go through. What we're going to be doing in the categories is we're going to kind of go from the bottom up. If you see on the nominations on the website.
I can, yep.
Yep, so we're going to start off with Best Fan Creation, and the nominees are Grand Theft Auto 5 Targets, which is by Hoodoo Operator, Real GTA by Corridor Digital, Portal Stories Melt by Prism Studios, Super Mario Maker e-reader levels, Bad Boy 78, and They Call Me Shaky, and Twitch Plays Dark Souls, which was on Twitch, obviously.
Yes.
Which one have you given your prediction to?
I'm just... Oh, bloody dog. I'm just looking at them now, really. I'm struggling to decide. I've never heard of Portal Stories.
It's a mod. It's like a mod that was basically the size of the game. And I'm going
to have to shut that dog up.
Okay.
I mean permanently, by the way.
Okay, so Portal Stories Mail is basically... It's a Portal mod that is basically the size of the game. It's like got full dialogue, side quests, the whole lot, puzzles and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So they basically remade a game.
It wasn't remade. It was kind of like another side to it.
Yeah.
Basically, it wasn't. It was completely different than the actual game, but you could do the original game along with the side one as well.
Right. Well, looking at GTA 5 Targets and Real GTA, those are really kind of. They're not exactly like fan creations in game. They're just like, I don't know,
real life stuff.
Yeah, like GTA Targets. Yeah, that's very creative, and I suppose that is in game. But if you're looking for something, I suppose Super Mario Maker e-reader levels. That's like, I don't know. That's kind of like that's what you do in Super Mario Maker. Isn't it, really. Just to
say that these are actually voted by the fans, not by the panel. If that changes your opinion.
That does change my opinion slightly. If it's going to go to anything, then I think it'll probably go to GTA in real life.
Real GTA 5?
Yeah, that's one.
That's the exact same as what I've gone to.
Excellent.
Yeah,
okay.
So we're both with that, so I'll just type your name next to it. Yep, so, yeah, I went for that because, this is voted by the fans at the end of the day. I think the best one is the Portal stories, Mel. But I think if it was a panel, that would win. But with it being fan creation, these probably, the guys over at Corridor Digital are probably going to be going over to the fans, vote for us in this award because we want to win. And they'll be like, yeah, I'll vote.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Trending Gamer is the next one. And the nominees for that are Total Biscuit, Christopher Monte Cristo Michaels, Greg Miller, Markiplier, and PewDiePie.
I've kind of gone out on a limb on this one because the only ones I'm really aware of are obviously, Markiplier, Total Biscuit, and PewDiePie. I seem to remember Total Biscuit won it last year.
You did, yeah. Greg Miller is a guy who's on it kind of pops up on various YouTube channels and is kind of like an informative dude around the gaming industry. And Christopher Monte Cristo Michaels, I think he's an esports player, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, see, my thinking was I was actually going to go for Greg Miller, because I've never heard of him before. And I thought, if they've added him to the list, there's a good reason for that. So yeah, Greg Miller is mine.
You're going to go for Greg Miller. I'm going to go for Total Biscuit, because again, this is fan voting for the winner. And PewDiePie, I don't think he's really got the fans who watch the award. I don't think he's going to press it. Markiplier, kind of the same story, but I think he would maybe try and press people to kind of vote for him. Total Biscuit, well, he's got the fan group that is going to watch this award show and actually cares about who wins this award show and vote for the people. And to be honest, it's been a pretty rough year for him, so I think,
Yeah, no, that's true. I think if it is fan voted, then fans are likely to turn out for him.
I'll let you change it if you've got...
No, I'm a man of my word. I'll stick with what I've said. Greg Miller. Go with that.
We'll go through this one as quickly as we can because we don't really know these next three. Esports Game of the Year: COD Advanced Warfare by Sledgehammer Games and Activision, Counter-Strike Global Offensive by Valve, Dota 2 by Valve, Hearthstone by Blizzard, and League of Legends Riot Games.
Right, is this voted for by fans?
By fans. Yeah.
Oh god, that is really difficult. Right, let me think. As I recall, Dota 2 tops Steam all-time playlists.
I'll give you some way about this. Hearthstone is the most popular game at the minute on phones.
Yep.
League of Legends is the most popular game in the world for like the past 5 years. Always got most consecutive. Dota 2 is the most popular game on stream. Counter-Strike is second, and Call of Duty is the most popular game on consoles.
Well, here's my thinking. If this is voted for by fans, going back to kind of what you said about Total Biscuit, Call of Duty tends to be a franchise that's very open and accepting of, casual players.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're likely to be watching gaming award shows. Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Dota 2, I think those two are kind of even. Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, I think again is kind of casual.
It is, I don't really see it as a viable esport, even though I don't watch them that much.
League of Legends, I'm really not sure about. Because I've heard so many different things about it. I've heard it doesn't compare to Dota 2. I've heard it's better. So I'm really not sure. The one that's really sticking out to me is Dota 2. So I'm going to go for that.
You're going to go to Dota 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I've gone for League of Legends because of the sheer popularity of the thing and the fact that it gets 100 million viewers every year for the World Championships on Twitch. So,
okay.
Yeah, I went for League of Legends from Riot Games.
All right.
Esports Team of the Year. I think for both of us, this was just kind of a thing of pick it and go.
Yeah, not a clue.
So, obviously, fan choice as well.
Yeah. This is difficult. There's Evil Geniuses, Fnatic,
Optic Gaming, SK
Telecom T1, and Team Solomid. Is that right?
Yeah, Solomid. I think it's Solomid because it's got something to do with the kind of playstyle in MOBAs. Like mid is the name, and if you're solo mid, you're in the middle on your own. So
yeah. Then I think I'll go for Team Solomid or Solomid.
Solomid. So I went for SK Telecom 1. Again, no clue. Just picked one. I was like, yeah, go for that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
And this one is for the Esports Player of the Year, the last one voted by fans, and it's Kenny S. Shrub in Counter-Strike Global Offense and Team Envials. Lee Faker Sang Hyuk for League of Legends and SK Telecom T1, Olaf Meister Kajber? I don't know. Who knows? Captain Strike Global Offensive Fnatic, Peter PPD Daga, Dota 2 in Evil Geniuses, and Saeed Sumal with a 1 as the L. Why? Just why? Dota 2 in
You just had to be awkward.
Yeah. Hassan, and he's in Dota 2 and his team name is Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
Yeah,
I went with Lee Faker Santiago because he's in SK Telecom T1, and that's the team that I picked.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's a fair enough assumption, I think.
Okay, so these are the awards now that we should decide about the panel. The panel of people, there's a lot of people on it. Is all on the Game Awards site, and you can see the jury and advisors. There's quite a lot of people in it.
Yep.
Majority from America, but they've got a few from like Japan and all over the world.
Right.
So let's start with the most bullshit award of the night, most anticipated game.
Yeah, this is a kind of a bit of bullshit. Yeah. The kind of the contenders are most of the ones that are serious, I think, are on PS4 actually.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn by Guerrilla Games and Sony Computer Entertainment.
Yep.
No Man's Sky, no surprise there, by Hello Games. Quantum Break by Remedy Entertainment and Microsoft Studios. The Last Guardian by Gen Design, Sony Computer Entertainment, and Uncharted 4: A Thief's End by Naughty Dog, Sony Computer Entertainment.
What I found unbelievable is that all of these are exclusive on consoles.
Yeah, that's. I think instantly. I think we can rule out Quantum Break and Horizon Zero Dawn because they're new IP.
But I'll be honest, Horizon has got a little bit of hype about it.
It has, but I don't think as nearly as much hype as Uncharted 4
or No Man's Sky,
or No Man's Sky. The Last Guardian I'm on the fence about because everybody lost their shit when they saw some Last Guardian gameplay.
The thing about me with that is that, like with you're saying loads of people lost the shit, but I haven't heard a lot about it since then.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
I think we were late to the party because I think this is a game that had been in the making for a long time and we'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Or I'd certainly never heard of it.
Well, the only time I heard about it was George saw it on a Reddit post about the story about it and told me about it. So, yeah, I obviously heard of Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, I see. I hadn't even heard of that. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, that one. It won Game of the Year 2006, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of blew everyone away of that. It was like an early generation game, and it kind of blew everyone away. So yeah, that's the only reason I heard about that.
Yeah, I'm struggling to decide because I think it's either Uncharted 4 or No Man's Sky. It's difficult because with Uncharted 4, you've got something that's tried and true. Most people, in fact, a lot of people like the Uncharted series.
And that's exactly why I've gone for it as my choice.
Yeah, an immensely popular choice. Whereas No Man's Sky, again, like we said with Horizon and Quantum Break, new IP.
Yeah.
So actually, when I'm talking myself through it, there's actually no choice here. I think it's probably Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4.
Yeah. Plus the fact it's got Nolan North in it, so I just want to vote for that,
Yeah, so, for me, I went for Uncharted 4, like you said, is everything you said there, to be honest. Plus the fact that it's a sequel, so you know what to expect. No Man's Sky, I decided not to pick it because, first of all, I think the critics have kind of been like, not really... The critics that are on this list, they're not people from Kotaku and IGN. These are people who are like from... GameSpot, PC Gamer, have just been like, okay, we still don't really know anything about this game. We've still got stuff to come out. Plus, the fans are kind of, it's kind of turning slowly, kind of more so than what it was. Like, if I went back to like 6-7 months ago, pretty much everyone was like hyped, except for like, well, us and like a few other people. Everyone was like, holy shit, this game. And then everyone was just like, okay, we still don't know anything. It's coming out, but we don't know anything. Okay, we don't know anything. But you still got a lot of people that are excited for it. But I chose Uncharted 4.
No, that's, I think, it's the obvious choice to make. You go with what you know, and you go with what you know is going to work.
Yeah.
People are excited, I think, probably more for Uncharted 4 because they know what they're going to get with Uncharted 4. We see this cinematic style gameplay that's fun and immersive, and you run around shooting things with this wisecracking.
Yeah.
Says he's what an archaeologist or a treasure hunter or what? It doesn't matter. He's basically Indiana Jones. Let's be honest here, and everybody wants to be Indiana Jones.
This psychopathic murderer is going there.
Yeah, wisecracking psychopathic murderer. Yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, no, I think Uncharted 4.
Can I say about Uncharted 4? Do you know Sully?
Yeah.
Do you think he ever looks like one of them people who could go in them, car adverts in America? With the Western suit. Salesman. Yeah, he's like, I'm out down to the DMV because I give too many good deals on used cars. One of them people. because for me, he's got the wrong voice for his face. He just looks like whammy, one of them people.
I don't know about that. But yeah, no, I can totally see it. He has got. I think maybe that's part of his character. He's got a kind of used car salesman kind of thing to it, hasn't he?
Yeah, I could just imagine with them Western suits. I could just imagine it. For the moment I saw him, I was like, "This guy's gonna be American." I was like, "No."
Yeah, no, definitely, absolutely. Now that you bring it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm never going to be able to look at Sully the same way again.
You're like, used cars. Yeah.
Right, so shall we move on to best multiplayer?
Multiplayer.
Right, shall I read this out, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, you got your standards, I suppose you can imagine. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 by Treyarch and Activision. Destiny: The Taken King by Bungie and Activision. Ugh, horrible. Left a bad taste in my mouth just saying that. Halo 5 Guardians, 343 Industries and Microsoft Studios. Rocket League.
Yay!
Woo! By Psyonix. And Splatoon.
Yeah.
By Nintendo EAD Group Number 2 and Nintendo. Get a better name.
I'm going to go out on a limb. Do you know a lot about Splatoon? Do you know what it is?
I do know a little bit about Splatoon to know that it's very popular among the 5 or so people that play Wii U.
Yeah, it's like it was probably until Mario Maker came out the most popular game on Nintendo for like quite some time, for about 6 months. And it's got a really catchy theme song. It's like, you're a squid. Yeah. It basically is squids who just go around killing each other with paint. Yeah,
you got to go around basically inking each other, haven't you?
Yeah,
it's different coloured paints and
It's got that very Nintendo look to it.
Yeah. I've heard it's very fun, and I've heard it's it gives you a lot of entertainment, and it's a bit more innocent than I think a lot of multiplayer things are nowadays, because they tend to be just shooters, don't they?
Yeah, Call of Duty, you're going out there to save the fucking world. Go.
America, fuck yeah. But if it were to go to anyone, it would either be, I think, Rocket League or Call of Duty. Call of Duty because it's what it does.
Yeah, and it's gone down very well this year.
Yeah, it's there. The online is Call of Duty. There's no surprise that they made instead of making a Call of Duty Black Ops 3 game that's backwards compatible with no online feature, they made it with no campaign and an online feature.
Yeah.
So they went to great effort to keep the online feature there because they know it's the cornerstone of their franchise.
Yeah.
So Black Ops 3 I think is going to win it.
You're going for Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
I thought, like you, I was going to give it to either. My choices at the start was either going to be Destiny, Rocket League, or Splatoon.
Yeah.
Destiny because of the turnaround. It's kind of near enough a 180 of the people who kind of gone back and played it and was like, okay, the new stuff they've added is really cool. They've really changed the game and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket League for me, I was going to put it on because of how well it's gone, but the fact is that there's not really a lot there for multiplayer. At the end of the day,
it's still an indie game, isn't it?
Yeah, true. There's only there's 3 different game modes. There's 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or 4v4. So 4 game modes. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And Splatoon, it's got about 30 to 40 game modes, and it's been insanely popular. It's completely different than what normally wins best multiplayer game, and it's kind of different than the stuff that we've seen before, like Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and Halo 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go Splatoon.
Okay, cool.
We're kind of going different for the majority of the time on this. I'm enjoying
We
it.
are. We didn't do this last year.
Yeah, last year was
for
just
sure.
kind of the same, but
We ended up when we did this last year. We ended up drawing, didn't we?
yeah, we did it in private, and basically it was 4 of us that did it, and me, Nathan, and Afra, and George, we all drew, and then Luca was like one behind us, like, I'm not paying for all of it.
If you're listening, Luca, I still want paying.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting, honestly. I never got that money.
Yeah, you get over here, Luca. You got a train.
Loan shark him. Gonna send someone around to break his legs. I know where you live, Luca Johnson. We're kidding, by the way. Don't worry. We'll break your arms instead.
Okay, so best sports/racing game. FIFA 16 by EA Canada Electronic Arts. Forza Motorsport 6 by Turn 10 Studios and Microsoft Studios. NBA 2K16 by Visual Concepts and 2K Sports. Pro Evo Soccer 2016 by Pez Productions and Konami. And then Rocket League by Psyonix.
I don't know about this one. I don't think it'll be Rocket League. Because although it's good, I don't think it can contend with, the big names like FIFA 16, NBA 2K16, and to a lesser extent Pro Evolution. Don't think Forza's got it, to be honest with you.
Nor do I.
Sorry?
Nor do I. I don't think Forza's... I think the fact that really not many people are playing on Xbox, not really many people care, and the fact that more people are playing Forza Motorsport 5 than 6 at this point, kind of justifies it.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well for it, really, does it? Given that this is a video game awards that's taking place in America, with a predominantly kind of American audience and an American panel, I think it's going to be NBA 2K16.
Cool. Yeah, so for my choice was that FIFA 16 really this year it's not gone down too well. People are very disappointed with it.
Why so? I'm interested in that because it's basically the same game, isn't it, as last year?
It is, but literally, normally between each FIFAs, normally there's a few changes, and this year they were dying out for change, and then they come out saying, we're making it really balanced, playing against AI is now going to be better than ever and everything. Playing against AI, you can't get the ball. You get about 25% possession every time. It's just impossible to get. You can put all 11 people around a player, and they'll just loop around and scoot the ball in the air and find the perfect pass every time. So everyone's just...
They've optimized the AI to what is it, like super legendary difficulty you can play on?
But on everything. There's but it's not that, it's just, it happens at times. There is games you'll go in when 10 minutes in there's nothing you can do to win. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I didn't go with that. PES has actually gone down a lot better than FIFA this year.
Mm-hmm.
PES has been regarded as the best football game of all time because of how realistic it is. They've got running styles now for every single one of the players. The way you actually play the game is different. And Rocket League is the one I've gone for because of how well it's kind of contended, how well it's sold, and how many people are actually playing it compared to all the other games. And the fact that it's an indie game will give it that extra boost of wow, this indie game did better than you lot critically.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, it's a great, I suppose, boost for any company to win an award, but for an indie game to win it, particularly, that could do a lot for it.
Yeah, and plus I think also the fact that if you look at the panel, these people are not exactly people who are going to be playing sports games every week. These are people who are going to be playing, proper video games. And Rocket League was something that kind of gripped everyone for about a month. It was everywhere. And I think Rocket League's going to win it. I went for Rocket League.
Yeah, but alternatively, I think with NBA, you've got a game, a franchise, a yearly franchise that keeps delivering consistently.
It does, to be fair.
And delivers into a market that is, really well liked in America. I think, never having been there, but, sports, I've seen, I think, is quite a big deal in America.
Yeah, the two main sports in America at the minute, is football and basketball.
Yeah.
It was baseball, but baseball is now falling behind football because no one gives a shit about it because it's so corrupt.
Yeah.
And it's just falling, and now football's kind of increasing in America and is kind of catching up to the other two.
Yeah.
Our football, that is.
Oh, excellent. Soccer, you mean?
Yeah. So, best family game is the next one.
This is actually difficult. I think we can rule out Disney Infinity.
So yeah, well basically the nominees are Disney Infinity
Yeah,
3.0
sorry.
by Avalanche Studios and Disney Interactive, Lego Dimensions by Traveller's Tales and Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, Skylanders Superchargers by Vicarious Visions and Beanox Studios / Activision.
Yeah.
Activision have a kind of a big say in a lot of things, don't they?
They really do,
Yeah.
actually. Now that you kind of stand back and look at it,
Yeah.
they're in a lot.
Yeah, it's like plus if you think about all the Blizzard games, they own 50% of that. Like them and Blizzard, you know, if you think they've got a lot to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, they just started up their a joint kind of movie studio, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, last week, so yeah.
Splatoon is Splatoon obviously with Nintendo and Super Mario Maker with Nintendo.
Right,
So,
you first then this time. Go on.
Me
You
first. Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions, and Skylanders I ruled out first.
Really?
But yeah,
You ruled out Skylanders.
I ruled out Skylanders because, you know, from the face, I'm not saying they are, but from the face, everyone looks the same to me. You know, it's that same style that everyone kind of gets excited for. You could know more about it than me. I don't know, but
Yeah, I do play a lot of Skylanders.
yeah. I was just thinking, you know, maybe they're going to go for something different this year, and maybe try and go for something that's kind of been kind of new and something that kind of everyone's been playing. There's Splatoon, which could have got it, but I think that's mainly got an audience of about, you know, kind of 14 and up. And the Super Mario Maker, go on.
You think it went to Super Mario Maker?
I think it went to Super Mario Maker for the fact that there's actually been a lot of kids playing it, and when I went to the EGX convention and there was the Mario Maker booth, all of it was kids around it just watching it.
But this is family game.
This is
not
family
just
game.
kids
This is family game, but like, you know, plus there's a lot of adults playing it as well. If you look, it's still Mario at the end of the day. Every time,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, actually, it's funny you say that actually because Super Mario Maker was my choice as well.
Okay.
You know, just because I like Skylanders. In fact, I love Skylanders, and I think that deserves it. But I think, as with most things in the awards, if it's a well-known franchise and people know it, not only judges but I think also fans as well are going to vote with what they know.
Yeah.
Go with what they know. Disney Infinity. I've never played Disney Infinity. It's been very quiet for me, and it's got that distinct air of being a Skylanders rip-off.
Yeah.
Of them taking a look at the Skylanders market, which was a genius idea. I mean, it's completely money-grubbing, but it's genius.
Yeah.
They took a look at it and went, "We want in on that." And so yes, they've got very cool characters where you can play as Captain America and Iron Man and Sully from Monsters Inc. and and that kind of thing. That's sweet, that's nice, but at the end of the day, what is it? You know, it's just the Skylanders rip-off. Lego Dimensions.
We've seen a lot of Lego games, haven't we?
Yeah. There's been a lot of Lego games, and it's just basically it's the Lego version of Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
It's like what they've done is they've taken all the Lego franchises and gone, right, here's your Christmas one. It's got all of them in it, including Doctor Who now.
And every time where I go to a convention, and there's always a line for Lego games, and they always go, the volunteer always goes to people, "Are you excited about Lego, whatever it is?" And I'm like, "Not really. We're here, so we thought we'd play it." Every time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, my brother is a big fan of the Lego games, but to be honest, I can't see the appeal anymore.
Yeah.
The ones I did like were Lego Star Wars and Lego Marvel Superheroes. That was quite good.
I enjoyed the Lord of the Rings one because it just made me laugh. The gags made me laugh most of all. Do you know when you could kill people? Do you know like what they do when people crumble? They always have them gags and Lego things.
Yeah.
And when he was killing Boromir, instead of shooting him with arrows, he shot him with bananas. Things like that.
Yeah. No, I like the way they do kind of poke a bit of fun, but at the end of the day, I can't separate in my mind, and this is also a problem with Skylanders for me. I can't separate in my mind their attempt to make money, their attempt with their making games.
Yeah.
So this was one of the reasons I didn't like the Lego Movie, is it just felt like they were just spending money to make money. They've made this game they've made this game and this film to publicise all of their Lego sets. I mean, in the bottom right corner of when it flashed up with each of the different worlds, it showed like little serial numbers, like Lego set numbers.
Yeah.
So, it was subliminal messaging. It was marketing. And as a result, a lot of kids walked away from that and went, oh, I want to collect all these Lego sets now. And, oh, surprise, surprise, the Lego sets are 50 quid a piece.
Yeah.
It's an attempt to make money, and it's the same with Skylanders, the same with Disney Infinity, and also kind of the same with Splatoon if you look at the amiibos. But with Super Mario Maker, you've got there a game that is just pure enjoyment. It's what Nintendo does best, which is not, to be honest with you, I don't think it's innovation. I don't think Nintendo are great innovators.
But it was something that people wanted for a long time, to be able to make their own levels.
Oh yeah, totally. But I mean, like, what they've done is they've listened to people. They've gone.
For once, yeah.
Yeah, for once. There's a demand. They've gone. There's a demand for this. So let's give it to them. Let's just give it to them. No strings attached. Just here it is. And it's class. It's also got a kind of retro feel, so it appeals to older fans. The ones who've grown up, maybe kids' parents or something like that. My dad is a big Mario fan. He had the original Super Mario Land, I think, on his old Game Boy. I've got to dig that out at some point. I really want to play that.
Yeah.
Sorry. And it also appeals to new fans because, look, I can make my own level with my Wii U, that kind of thing. So overall, long story short, I mean, very long story short, it's taking a while to get here, sorry about that, but Super Mario Maker, I think is gonna win it. I think you're right.
Yeah. So, should we move on?
Yeah, should we do best fighting game?
Best fighting game.
Right,
So.
I'll read these out. Some wordy ones here that actually I haven't heard of.
Do you want me to read them then? Because the first, I can pronounce these.
Oh, thanks, Conor. That just makes
I
me feel
just want to hear you pronounce the first one.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear Third.
Nope.
What? How is that? That's written Guilty Gear Third. Threed? Guilty Gear what? Jesus Christ. That's okay. That's okay. I'm just gonna read them out in my terrible kind of thing.
They'll know what you mean. So just go for it.
Guilty Gear Threed Third.
Yeah.
Hyphen sign hyphen then Arc System. This by Arc System Works and Axis Games. Mortal Kombat X by NetherRealm Studios, Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. Rise of Incarnates, Bandai Namco Entertainment, and Rising Thunder by Radiant Entertainment. I had heard of only one of those on that list, and can you guess which one it was?
Mortal Kombat.
No, actually, it was Guilty Gear 3.
Yeah.
No, it was Mortal Kombat. So for that, I'm just going to have to go with Mortal Kombat there. I mean, I know Mortal Kombat didn't do as well as people were hoping, but it was still a good game.
It had a good story to it. It's just the longevity of it wasn't nowhere near as long as what it was for Guilty Gear Xrd, by the way.
What the? How did you get? Jesus Christ! How?
Because they made a typo on the website.
I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just speechless. I'm speechless. Oh God! What kind of name is that?
It's a Japanese game, so basically, Guilty Gear is it's a fast action fighting game which has done very well in the esports scene, like Evo and things like that, and it's got a lot of people playing it. So I think with the disappointment of Mortal Kombat X, I decided to go for that because the other two I haven't heard really anything about.
Yeah. Okay. That seems like fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
As
one.
always, research wins out, I think.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest. The only reason I really heard of Guilty Gear Xrd was because of the Co-optional podcast. I wouldn't have heard about it if it wasn't for that.
Fair enough. I'm gonna have to listen to Co-optional then. That's a plug.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to Co-optional if I want to keep up.
Oh yeah, they paid us to say that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. Lots of money.
Yeah, they need that advertisement out there. They only get about 600,000 views on a podcast. It's nothing.
It's tiny. I mean, come on, we're surpassing that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay, best role playing.
Keep up, Co-optional.
TB, we know you're out there. Best role-playing game. Bloodborne from Software and Sony Computer Entertainment. Fallout 4, which is from Bethesda Game Studios and Bethesda Softworks. Pillars of Eternity by Obsidian Entertainment and Paradox Interactive. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt by CD Projekt Red. Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. And Undertale, which is by Toby Fox. So, should I go first for this one?
You go first for this one, because I think you will have some very strong opinions on this one.
Okay, Bloodborne is... I didn't go with because it is an RPG, but not in the traditional sense, if you know what I mean. It's kind of more of the... You don't really play that game for its RPG mechanics. You play that game because of the kind of the tough monster battles, the tough boss battles, and the...
Yeah, that's the only reason I think people play Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 and Blood Souls.
Don't get me wrong, there's some people
Demon Souls.
There's some people that play it for the lore. Don't get me wrong, there is. But, you know, I think for the grand scheme of
the problem
people...
is, if you want to play the games for the lore, and I'm not just talking about Bloodborne here. I'm talking about, you know, all the other ones they've done, the Dark Souls kind of franchise. Then you really snook it if you want to play it for lore, because there's hardly any.
It's all on like item stuff and everything in the description.
I know, and I'm not interested in that.
No. He's like, I'm not that keen to get it.
Yeah, I really don't care. If I know there's a danger of me walking down, if I stand in a corridor, I'm going to get eviscerated by a giant by a giant 10-foot dog with a serpent for a head and tails for legs. Then I'm not going to stop and read the description on an item, because that's all in real time. It doesn't pause the game. So, God, sorry, I'm ranting about nothing. Just go on. Sorry.
Okay, so then there's Fallout 4, obviously an RPG, very popular.
Yeah.
It could have been a choice. Pillars of Eternity, that kind of really classic RPG style game. You know, top down. You've got 4 people you're controlling. Really old RPG mechanics that was kind of brought to the modern day. Really
well, that's how Obsidian started, isn't it? With Fallout.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Done very well, and I think this to me was really a tie-in for first place. Then there's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Obviously, this is my choice, Witcher 3, because of the fact that it's got all the RPG mechanics of customization, leveling up, character abilities, different fighting styles and all that kind of thing, the open world and all that. I was going to maybe not choose it because it's very much story driven.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the fact that it's open world, it's got all these mechanics, and the fact that you can stay away from all that stuff, made me go for it. And then there's Undertale, which is an indie game by Toby Fox, which could have won it, but is mainly a game I don't think is going to be able to compete with the likes of Witcher 3, Fallout 4.
No, it's we've been, I think, very lucky in terms of big releases this year, because you know, as always, I think the bias has been towards role-playing games and open world games, and we've been lucky to get some very, very good ones this year. In Witcher 3 and Fallout 4. So my choice is a lot simpler. It's either Fallout 4 or Witcher 3 for me. Witcher 3, I can understand what you're saying about the customization.
And plus, I'll just quickly say, I forgot to say this. One of the main reasons why I did drop out of Fallout, yes, it does have the insanely heavy customization, insanely heavy, and all this RPG mechanics. But the fact that mainly now, I think it's taken more of a step towards being a first-person shooter, in my eyes, personally, from an RPG. So that happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to go for Witcher.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just to minimise it a little bit more.
Yeah. But for me, a role-playing game doesn't just have to be a sword and shield kind of game. You know, I think if they want to make the mechanics, the combat mechanics in a role-playing game sound, then I think they've got, you know, every right to do that. I don't really think it changes anything if it's a good shooter.
Oh no, definitely not. It's just that I think that when it comes to choosing a game, they're going to try and minimise them, and I think that could go against it in some way, maybe.
I'm not sure. I think it's Fallout 4.
You think it's Fallout 4?
Yeah, because as with any Bethesda game, you can you can have 4 different friends, and they'll play it 4 different ways and go 4 different directions, and
that is a point. To be fair, that is a point. Yeah, which you are very much destined into your character.
Yeah, rubber banded. With Fallout, you get in and you go, and it's the same with any kind of open world Bethesda game they do. I really think they have mastered it in terms of role playing. I think you're right in some senses. I think there are certain aspects that could play against them. Mainly, I think weirdly the talking character. Your talking character, and that's not kind of such a problem, with Witcher 3, because that's always been the case. But when you have a character that is silent, a protagonist that is silent, it allows you, I think, much more freedom to be a bit inventive. So imagine what you would have said in that situation if they don't speak.
Yeah.
And even though that's always been there in The Witcher 3, to, I think, go from a silent protagonist to a voice protagonist
is a big change.
It's quite jarring. And also you've got to look at what's gone along with that. Fewer dialogue options in Fallout 4. In New Vegas and Fallout 3, there were so many.
Yeah.
I mean, you scroll down and down and down, and you just keep going and going and going and going and going.
Now there's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, now there's 4 exactly. And there's very little there. I do see what you're saying about it being a lot more like first-person shooter-esque. I kind of disagree, though, because I still think with something like Borderlands, for example, that's a great first-person shooter, but it's also a fantastic role-playing game. So I think they've managed to get it. I think Bethesda have managed to strike a balance, just like I think Borderlands have. So I think I'm going to go with Fallout 4.
Okay, no problem. Cool. Right, so we'll go into the best action-adventure game, which is an interesting category, I say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow, this is really actually quite interesting.
Do you want to read them out? Because I read out the last ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so we've got some interesting ones here, like we just said. Best action-adventure game, we've got Assassin's Creed Syndicate by Ubisoft Quebec and Ubisoft. Batman Arkham Knight, Rocksteady Studios, Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain by Kojima Productions and Konami, Ori and the Blind Forest by Moon Studios and Microsoft Studios, and Rise of the Tomb Raider, Crystal Dynamics and Microsoft Studios.
Okay, so I just quickly want to reiterate.
Yeah.
Now that we're into the kind of into the categories where people kind of could get a bit arsey if we don't pick their favourite game.
Yeah.
These are not our choices. These are what we think will win for the essence of the competition. And then at the end of the year, we're going to do pretty much the same thing where we give what we think deserves to win, which could be different, could be the same. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just to let people know, these are not necessarily our views.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. So where to start? In terms of best action adventure game, I think we can rule. This is a strange one because I know I've said that annualized franchises tend to win it, or tend to be stronger for it. But in this case, I don't think the fact that Assassin's Creed is annualized is going to help.
Nor do I.
Because I just think. I think for it to get best action or adventure game, it would have to do something dramatically different, and it's not. When I was playing it,
they put in a rope launcher.
Yeah, but that's more climbing and exploration. With action and adventure, I think if it were to win anywhere, it would win in an open world category.
Yeah.
But for action and adventure, when I was playing it, I found it was not very good at those things. While there was action, and while there was adventure, it was very often scripted.
Yeah.
And the game suited itself much more to, when you did actually get into action sequences, it was mash the X button or square button, depending on your preference. Just keep mashing, just keep mashing, just keep mashing. So it was not very impressive in that regard. Batman Arkham Knight could theoretically, but I don't think it will. I think with all that with all
PC
those
stuff
problems,
and
yeah,
car things and all that, yeah.
it's not going to do great. Metal Gear Solid 5 is a strong contender, very strong contender. I just wonder, and I think I might have said this before, but I just wonder if the whole controversy between Konami and Kojima Studios, Kojima Productions, is going to count against it. And, the Video Game Awards, which I suppose can be, might be used as a political device, might just go, no, we don't want to condone Konami's practices. We don't want them to get an award for, as the kind of, from the fallout of all this pretty bad shit that they've done.
Yeah.
So no, we're not going to award them. We're not going to give them anything, which is a bit of a shame because I don't feel the game should suffer.
Nope.
Because they were dicks. But it might well do. I don't know. Ori and the Blind Forest. Maybe you can help me with this one because I've never heard of that.
It's about a big dude called Ori. And
the Blind Forest.
Yeah, he's got a little bloke who he's trying to save who's in the Blind Forest.
No. Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's very possible.
Yeah.
So for me, it's between Metal Gear Solid 5 and Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Same here.
I think it's gonna go. Fuck it! I think it's gonna go with Metal Gear Solid 5. I just think they're gonna do it. It was an insanely good action adventure game.
Yeah.
Wait, no, was it? Was
yes.
it more open world? Yes, no, it was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yes.
For me, I've gone the exact same because it's got that. It was a very much anticipated game for this year, and it lived up to the hype. If you believe it or not,
in some senses.
Yeah, in some senses, yeah, and it's got some of the great things that you can do. I've seen so many videos of like hilarious kills and things like that. The action in the game is sublime. The shooting, the different ways you can take down areas. I think it's very much an action adventure experience, as much as Tomb Raider is. And I think the fact that it's gone down incredibly well, and I think it's a contender for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
so
and even though it was pretty much unfinished,
yeah,
it's still scoring 9s and 10s.
Yeah, so...
it's that is a testament to how immense the game could have been, even and still is, even if it's not been completely finished. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's contender for Game of the Year. Yeah.
So to best shooter.
Best shooter.
So they are Call of Duty Black Ops 3 by Treyarch and Activision, Destiny Taken King, Bungie and Activision, Halo 5 Guardians, 343 Industries and Microsoft Studios, Splatoon Nintendo, and Star Wars Battlefront DICE and EA. Okay.
Just put that one in there as the joke one, didn't
you?
Yeah.
We've talked about all of these except for Battlefront.
Yeah.
Which has been very average, run of the mill review scores.
And I think the less said about it, the better.
Yeah.
I think it's actually done, I think, worse than the originals did.
Yeah.
Which I suppose says something, given that they were all the way back when. But you tend to assume games are getting of a higher standard now. There's no denying, I think, that Battlefront is a decent shooter, but it's so arcadey.
Yeah.
And it's so, you're right, average, run of the mill. It's just like you drop into a game, you shoot things, and then you come out again.
Yeah.
And you can use abilities while you're there, which in itself looks very arcadey in terms of the HUD, in terms of the setup. And I just don't think, even now that it's released, it's that impressive of a game. Just graphically sublime,
no.
Sound-wise,
definitely
phenomenal. But would I want to sink hours and hours and hours of my time to that? I would be amazed if I could sink even 2, to be honest with you.
And plus, like, the review scores have been not the best, with 6s to 8 on a game like with a title like Star Wars is pretty low.
Yeah, and with a game with kind of the history it's got, that's disappointing. That is disappointing. So yeah, I think we can rule out Star Wars Battlefront. Similarly with Destiny and Halo 5, actually, I think we can rule those out because
This is
Halo...
the new expansion, by the way, Taken King.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Sorry, they might not know that, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, we're talking Taken King. Halo 5 and Taken King, they are actually, they're both kind of moving, well, Destiny less than Halo 5 because it started that way, but they're both moving more towards the Call of Duty kind of format. You know, you've now introduced, whether they call it that or not, scoping in Halo 5. Splatoon is, I think, too much of a wild card. It's just, it's a fun game, sure, but, you know, is that really a time sink? I think it's going to go to Call of Duty again.
So you think it's going to go to Call of Duty? I think it's actually going to go to Destiny the Taken King.
Right, okay.
Which you would have found me saying a year ago. But
yeah.
I think this new expansion they've got is starting to turn it around. And people are starting to get excited about it again. A lot of people are starting to... they're getting more people playing it. And a lot of people are coming back to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been an important expansion for them, you know, and it's done very well. And Halo 5 Guardians, there's been a lot of, you know, controversy around it. You know, some people like it, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
COD Black Ops, I know it's gone down well, but it's another Call of Duty game to me, and I think it's going to go to Destiny. That's what I think.
Yeah, but the problem with, I think, that is, Taken King is an expansion. It's not.
It is an expansion.
Game.
It is. It's just the fact that the fact that it's like changed the critical opinion in the game, and then so many people's opinions in the game is, you know, is turned it around. It reminds you kind of what Lord of the Rings Online did. You know, that game when it came out was shite, and after an expansion or two later, they turned it completely 180 around. You know, and could it start to do that? And I think it's going to get the recognition for it, personally.
I still don't think it's the best shooter.
You know, you go for what you want. You know, it's just that you're going to be paying for my Star Wars ticket at the end of the day.
No, I already get the sense that I'm going to be doing that. I don't think I've done very well at all.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like playing against a stacked deck. I think I'm still going to stick with Call of Duty though. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out standing up.
Okay, go for it. Games for Change Awards. Do you want to read these?
Okay. Games for Change. We've got. Help me out here.
Chibel.
Chibel?
Yeah.
Chibel? Is that right?
Yeah.
Chibel, yeah, you said?
It is Chibel, yeah.
Chibel. By Nina Freeman. Her Story by Sam Barlow. Life is Strange by Don't Nod Entertainment, Square Enix. Sunset by Tale of Tales. And Undertale by Toby Fox. You lead this one.
Okay, so Her Story is an FMV game. You know,
Yeah.
Life is Strange is a Telltale game with a time travel element.
Yeah.
Sunset, I don't know much about Chibel. I'm not fully 100% sure what it is. I've seen quite a bit of gameplay on it, and I'm just like, I'm confused. Undertale, the fact that it's got this mechanic that it remembers everything you did, even if you delete the save files, completely reinstall the game and everything, and it goes to you, I remember what you did. I remember you killed that guy. And rewrites the game manual is like something that I haven't seen before. And in the Games for Change category, I think it's pretty unique, so that's why I went for it.
So you said, so which did you go for?
Undertale by Toby Fox.
Undertale, yeah, that's because of the unique kind of nature of it.
Yeah. It's because it's different than what's been done before.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what they mean by games for change.
Something that could change the way that, you know, maybe games are developed, maybe introduce mechanics that haven't really been used before that other games can go to do. Something,
so it's not about like...
It's not the best game on there, it's what's really done something that could change the industry.
Well, then, I suppose if that's the case, Undertale's got it, but I wonder if it means like games that, you know, deal with difficult themes or difficult issues or something. I don't know, but yeah,
it's
Undertale.
not that. Yes.
No, definitely. Yeah. Okay, I reckon it's Undertale then. In that case, if that's what Undertale's got it.
Okay,
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So, best performance is Ashley Burch as Chloe Price, which is Life is Strange.
Yep.
Camilla Luddington as Lara Croft in Rise of the Tomb Raider. Doug Cockle as Geralt in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Mark Hamill as the Joker, Batman Arkham Knight. And Viva Cypher, Her Story.
There is absolutely no competition here to Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
As the Joker.
I agree.
It's just that simple.
Different class. The only one I could see maybe winning it is Viva Safer because it's like it's a live action performance. It's FMV, so
Yep.
it's actually her. Maybe I could see that going in her favour, but Mark Hamill deserves it.
Oh, absolutely,
Let-
absolutely,
let-
phenomenal performance.
Let's move on.
Yeah, enough said.
Yeah.
Enough said. Jesus.
So best scoring soundtrack, which I've been very looking. I love this category. So
yeah, this is an interesting one actually. Shall I read it out?
you go for it.
Top 4 soundtrack by Einam Zur, Bethesda Game Studios. Halo 5 Guardians, Kazuma Ginucci, 343 Industries. Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain by Ludwig Forsell, Justin Burnett, Daniel James and Kojima Productions. Ori and the Blind Forest by Gareth Coker and Moon Studios, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt by... Oh, good luck with that one. Why do I always get the ones with difficult names?
Just go for it.
Marcin Prisbilovic.
You actually got that right.
Oh, yes! Mikolai Stronsky, Percival,
Close enough. Yeah.
and CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Yes, get in there. Come on. I'm feeling 10 feet tall right now.
Okay, so
Yeah. Here's my thinking. Right.
yeah,
Fallout 4 doesn't have that impressive soundtrack. I mean, some of the original pieces are all right.
what's impressive on it is the songs it's got on the radio.
Yeah, that's very true. But I don't think that'll be what they gain favour for.
Yeah.
So I don't think Fallout 4's got it. I would completely agree with your assessment there. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt has a fantastic score.
Fantastic soundtrack. It's something I listen to in my own time regularly.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
think it's
and
great.
I think that's maybe what they're looking for, is something you would listen to in your own time.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5, difficult to say.
Actually, better than you think.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
better than you think, but the most of it is just the kind of thing. Yeah, just that. But actually, do you know what really surprised me? Given all the history and stuff, Halo 5 Guardians soundtrack was very, very good.
Yeah.
By,
Ori and the
you
Blind
know,
Forest was very much piano solo kind of thing.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, but no, Halo 5 Guardians, I was quite surprised by it, because when you look at the whole thing by it, every, I think, Halo game up to that point, or main series Halo game, 1, 2, 3, and 4, had been composed up to that point by Marty O'Donnell, who did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
On the score. It was fantastic. And when he got dropped from the project in, I think probably the midway point Halo 5, everyone was kind of like, "Ooh, God, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
That's not great. And so in comes this guy and makes a actually fairly decent score. It didn't sound like classic Halo, but Halo 5 was not classic Halo.
No.
So it was a definite attempt for them to really make their mark on the franchise. So yeah, I was really, it was one of the high points actually, was Halo 5 soundtrack. It's very, very good. But I don't think it's well known enough to win it. I think it's going to be Witcher 3.
You think it's going to be Witcher?
I think it's going to be Witcher.
You were setting it up so much this was going to fit for Halo. I actually tapped your name in already.
Oh, sorry. Just you throw in a curveball.
Yeah. I went for Witcher as well. Again, something I'd listen to in my own time. It's set the world beautifully.
And I think the important thing about the soundtrack is, yes, you listen to it in your own time,
Yeah.
but also you're going to spend a lot of time listening to it, so you better get used to liking it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
there's so much there as well. There's like so many different sounds, and it's different for different locations and everything. It's just great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's well composed, well thought out, and just in terms of kind of raw analytics, these guys, they're going to be hearing that soundtrack more than they are Halo 5 or Fallout 4, because mainly you'll spend time with the Pip-Boy radio on. Metal Gear Solid 5 I don't really know, but mostly you're going to be hearing it a lot with The Witcher 3, because that's a long game. That's a big game. So yeah, I think Witcher 3. I think Witcher 3's got it.
Okay, should we go to Best Art Direction?
Best art direction. Yeah, lead us off.
Okay, so there's Batman Arkham Knight
Yep.
by Rocksteady Studios, Warner Brothers Interactive.
Yep.
Bloodborne from Software and Sony Computer Entertainment.
Yep.
Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain by Kojima Productions and Konami. Ori the Blind Forest by Moon Studios and Microsoft Productions. And The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt by CD Projekt Red and Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment.
So what does this mean? Best art direction? Is that best graphics or best art style?
Best
or
art
best
style.
Concept? Okay.
So
But
it's
they're all...
not necessarily that best graphics is not necessarily for. It's supposed to be something that kind of jumps out and goes like, yeah, that art style's great. I don't think the nominations kind of live up to the award, to be honest with you.
No, I don't. I don't really. The only ones I can really think of are Bloodborne.
Yeah, that's the same with me. Metal Gear, we've seen that art style. Witcher
Yeah.
3 is very Eastern European kind of
Yeah.
medieval art
Yeah.
style. Batman Arkham Knight, you can put an argument for.
You can because they do try a lot that's different actually. I mean, if you look at Scarecrow, completely remade. There's some of the fear sequences
Yeah,
are really redone and look very good. There's the suit is completely different. So yeah, there's a lot different in Arkham Knight. But at the end of the day, I still think it's going to be Bloodborne because they had to start from scratch.
yeah.
They had to start basically with nothing and create all these fantastic and terrifying and disgusting creatures. And I think from the sound of it, they did a very good job. So I think Bloodborne.
Same here. The reason I'm going for that, I'm not Ori the Blind Forest, is because Ori the Blind Forest to me looks very Disney.
Yes. Yeah, and it's unoriginal.
Yeah. It does look good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they all look good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2015 approaching 2016. Everything looks good,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's not as eye catching, is it, as Bloodborne? I think.
I'm going to make some people cry with this next comment.
Yeah,
Notice why Fallout 4 ain't on there?
because the Fallout 4 graphics suck, Conor.
Yeah. Looks like a 2-year-old game.
Yeah.
Still looking forward to playing it. I'm still looking forward to playing it.
No, but that is a genuine point actually to make, is that a lot of the kind of the art style in Fallout 4 is unoriginal.
Yeah.
And you can make an argument that, and I think actually, to be honest, this holds up. I've always thought that the environments they've created look very nice.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just the people
Yeah.
that look like super mutants.
Look at aliens.
And even the super mutants look like super mutants.
Yeah.
So, but the thing with Fallout 4 is its visual presentation is not as impressive as any of those, I don't think.
Yeah.
Even with, the graphics do look kind of shite. But,
Yeah.
you can get over that. So,
Yeah, you can do, yes, definitely.
yeah, easily. So, do you want me to read out the next one?
Yes.
Going to be interesting because we've got best narrative, and we've got some really good ones here. So, Her Story by Sam Barlow, Life is Strange by Don't Nod Entertainment Square Enix, Tales from the Borderlands, which is very good, by Telltale Games, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, CD Projekt Red, Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, and Until Dawn by Supermassive Games and Sony Computer Entertainment.
Should I go?
Yeah, I'm interested to know what you're going to say.
Okay. Life is Strange, Tales from the Borderlands. We've seen that style. Where it's the story, you follow the character, you make some choices in dialogue. We've seen it before. And it's been rewarded before. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, again, it's kind of that style, to be honest. You follow a character, you make choices in dialogue, but it's much more open world and much more vast.
Yeah.
The two for me that could win is Her Story and Until Dawn.
Yeah, absolutely.
For people who don't know what Her Story is an FMV game where it's police tapes of this woman who's speaking into the camera like an interview, and then you over across different days and different weeks, and you've got to find differences in what's saying. So like one time she'll have short hair, one time she'll have long hair, so then you pick it. Or one time she'll subtly have a tattoo on her wrist, and then the next day she won't have it. So then you click on the tattoo and it's like, where the hell was this tattoo? And there'd be this whole story about what happened with this tattoo and this whole other thing that's happening. And Until Dawn, we know a lot about. It's follow them around, breaks the fourth wall at times. But for me, I think Her Story was that unique and that well done. And Until Dawn was well done as well, don't get me wrong. I think it kind of deserves it by how subtle things were and how many differences you could find, and how big it got if you found these little differences. And it didn't make a difference if you didn't find it.
Yeah. Okay. This is an interesting one. This is quite difficult for me because having played Until Dawn, and I think you've played it as well.
I played it twice, yeah.
Yeah, I can testify that it's a very, very competent story.
It is, yeah, it's fantastic.
The problem I think with it is that there are parts of it that are a bit unoriginal. Like for example, the whole Saw-esque kind of.
The whole game is
haunted
the whole
house.
game to me is getting every single horror trope together and going boom.
Yeah, that's basically what they do. I think that's pretty much summed it up. it in a nutshell is they take every kind of horror trope and then throw it all at you. So the game is not really about what's going to happen next. It's about what horror trope are they going to use next. And that's still effective. That still makes it scary and still makes it fun. But it's not as inspiring. Witcher 3 I am tempted by because, it's because I think you told me 17 different endings. Is that right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, and because of those subtle kind of variations in meeting people and what you do, and it all affects, it all kind of rounds up. Tales from the Borderlands, great Telltale game, but I think they're looking for something a bit different. Her story, yeah, it's different. The narrative is different, but I don't know enough about it to testify if it's good. If it's like really good, if you know what I mean, like it's got a story that engages you, or rather just the gameplay is engaging. So for me, I'm going to go with Life is Strange because the story is engaging for that. I think the way they released it in terms of episodic kind of releases has a way of keeping people engaged and a way of really interesting and intriguing people. So I think I'm going to go with Life is Strange.
Okay. So, best mobile or handheld game. We'll go for this one quick because we've kind of gone way over time on this whole thing. So, best mobile or handheld game: Downwell, Mopin, Devolver Digital, Fallout Shelter, Bethesda Game Studios, Paper Interactive, and Bethesda Softworks, Lara Croft Go, Square Enix Montreal, and Square Enix, the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, Capcom, and Pac-Man 256, Hipster World, and Bandai Namco Entertainment.
Monster Hunter 4, I think.
Same for me, but for the fact that Fallout Shelter was very much, we've seen them kind of games. The only thing about it was that, it didn't really have many microtransactions, which kind of got people going, and the fact it was Fallout.
Yeah, but also the problem with both that and Lara Croft Go was that they were glitchy and crap.
Yeah.
They actually, after that, weren't very good. I tried to play Fallout Shelter, but it was the most buggy thing. It was unbelievable.
And there was no depth to it.
Yeah, there's no depth to it either, really. But I think Monster Hunter 4
yeah,
get it. I think it's just for those reasons. It's got depth. It's fun, engaging.
And there's a lot, and there's a shit ton to do.
Oh yeah.
So, do you want to read out the next one?
Yeah, this one is for the best independent game. So I suppose you guys can guess what's coming next. Is Axiom Verge by Tom Happ, Her Story by Sam Barlow, Ori and the Blind Forest by Moon Studios, Mansion Studios. I'm getting really fed up of hearing that and not picking it. Rocket League by Psyonix, and Undertale by Toby Fox.
For me...
Sorry.
Okay. Obviously, Ori and the Blind Forest has been nominated for a lot of stuff, so I'm going to say it's a contender, but I don't really know a lot about it to be able to pick it, to justify why. Rocket League I played a lot of, but is car football gonna win the best independent game? And you've got this massive story in Her Story, and this really interesting game mechanics, and always changing, and again interesting story, interesting characters in Undertale. So I've gone Undertale for really the change that it's got and how well it's done. And some people found it really boring, but I think the grand scheme of people really enjoyed the story and enjoyed the mechanics it had. Mm-hmm. And all the different areas that it had as well, it had a lot of different places to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, it's interesting because originally I was just going to go for Rocket League.
Yeah.
Because, I just assumed, I've heard of that, it's the most well-known, and it's very rare for an indie game to kind of break into the AAA kind of space to the extent where Rocket League has, where although it's indie, a lot of people have heard of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people want it. So originally I was going to kind of struck by its best, not most well liked or most popular or whatever. And given everything you've said about Undertale and Her Story, like I said before, I'm not really that sure about Her Story, but I think Undertale will probably get it.
You think Undertale?
Yeah, I'm thinking Undertale.
Okay.
Just purely for that awesome feature you said where it always remembers you. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's because people, one bloke, he put it on the Steam cloud, and then when he put it on there, completely uninstalled the game on his computer, got his laptop, installed the game, and he got about 2 hours in, and then some guy just went, "I remember what you did. I knew you killed this guy. You think you can get away, but you can't." And he was just like, "There's nothing I can do."
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, does that mean that it's like, what does that do to the replayability? Can you
Well,
start a new game?
there's
Or,
so many different endings. That's probably the only drawback of it, but you can still get all the endings depending on what
yeah.
you do. You can still get them all, and there's a lot of different endings. I don't know how the exact number is, but I know there's a lot.
Right.
So, developer of the year: Bethesda Game Studio, CD Projekt Red, From Software, Kojima Productions on Nintendo. Bethesda Game Studios made Fallout 4, CD Projekt Red, Witcher 3, From Software, Bloodborne, Kojima Productions, MGS5,
Okay. Yeah.
and Nintendo was Mario Maker and Splatoon.
Yep. I think whichever one wins this will win Game of the Year as well.
Okay. So that means it's giving away your choice of Game of the Year.
Potentially. I mean, I don't know. I might just throw another curveball in there, Conor. You
Okay,
never
yeah.
know. Just keep you on your toes. Make sure you're listening. Developer of the Year, I don't think will go to Nintendo. I don't think so. Kojima Productions, potentially. I think you might have mentioned it was as a middle finger to Konami, and that seems like a plausible thing.
And that's why I've chosen.
Yeah. Okay. From Software. Nah.
Yeah, exactly.
Bethesda Game Studios. Yeah, but nah. And CD Projekt Red, I think, actually, yeah, CD Projekt Red will get it because of the way they handled Witcher 3.
Yeah, and I
They've
think
managed-
the fact that Bethesda Game Studios, it's gone down very well with a lot of people. The fact that it's the same game style that what they've done for the last couple of games. I think The Witcher 3, it knocked it out of the park with probably half the budget and half the team. So,
And as well with Witcher 3, you've got to kind of remember, it wasn't just the fact that they made a fantastic game, how they also handled it before and after. You know, they won over fans by going, we're going to release all this free DLC for you once the game is out. And after that, they released something like 6 different patches in one day to fix different things they were hearing of. So they were super responsive.
just went straight out, yeah.
Straight in there.
Yeah, they didn't take a holiday to the Bahamas like Bethesda Game Studios did once they finished the game. They fixed that game.
Yeah. They fixed the roof while the sun was shining. So yeah, no, I think CD Projekt Red will get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and you reckon Kojima?
I
don't
went
you?
Kojima Productions because of the whole scenario where there's kind of working in a hellhole as Konami and be able to produce the game that they did. I think they're going to
like a prison
recognise that,
camp.
and I think with all the stuff that's happened with Kojima this year, they're going to give him some recognition and some plaudits because Konami haven't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. I think though they will want to stay away from
Controversy.
controversy.
To be fair though, I think putting Kojima Productions in there instead of Konami's kind of already started it.
Yeah.
But, anyway, let's get to Game of the Year.
Yes, let's do that.
Again, not necessarily our choice, but
No,
it's
absolutely
what
not.
we
Absolutely
think
not.
will win. So it's either Bloodborne, Mario Maker, Witcher 3, Fallout 4, or MGS5. Should I
You
go?
first. You first.
I've gone Mario Maker. I'm joking. Right.
You idiot.
I went Witcher 3, pretty much everything I said in the last remark, it knocked it out of the park with a fantastic story and beautiful game, incredible characters, and it's really the only game that I can continue playing for 150 hours in a set story when I can remain as enthused from the beginning till end, all the way through. There's not many games that'd be able to do that. In Volume 3, even bloody Elder Scrolls couldn't do that. I'm not that interested in... If the main quest was 150 hours long, I could tell you that'd be like, okay, I'm done. Like, after about the time that it had.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. But I'm still going to go with my gut and say Fallout 4.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think purely for a lot of the reasons we've spoken about before, but also because you've got a gaming franchise that's got a lot of history to it. You've got
True.
You've got a franchise that, a company that tends to win Game of the Year, a lot. They're known for it. And also they know, I think, Bethesda, they know how to make a successful game. They know how to make a game that ticks all the right boxes. And it's the only game that I've seen that I've wanted to be a part of, that I wanted to play. and that, like I said before, everyone's playing it, and after nearly 2 weeks of release, no one's getting bored with it.
Yeah.
It's still everywhere, and it still has a way of wrapping, really engaging people. Whereas with Witcher 3, I think maybe I would feel like I couldn't just come to it as kind of a fresh face. I would have to go back and play 1 and 2 first.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You could, because it starts in this perfect place, where it's like war-driven. Like at first, there's going to be a few people that you first meet and you think like, who's that? And then because Geralt appears to know them, but you can ask them questions about who they are and stuff, so you can get that ground-based feeling. And plus, you've got the what's it called? When you press the pause menu, the codex, to tell you who people are in the story and everything, if you're that interested to find out who every single person is. But I know for a fact that George, I know that he didn't get all the way through, he got to level 15, but he fully understood the story and fully understood what was going on, understood who was where and where they were from and everything. And he never played a Witcher game before.
Okay, alright, that's convincing, but you see with...
And this is
Fallout,
George.
Actually, now you can I change? No, I'm not going to do that. But here's the thing with Fallout 4, right? Where you don't have to ask any of those questions.
True.
Like if you see a ghoul, then you can go and you can ask someone about a ghoul, but you're just kind of like, okay, it's an enemy type. Whereas you're not kind of suddenly put face to face with so many different characters that your character, and he's supposed to be you, knows, but you don't.
Yeah.
It's, although it says Fallout 4, it's not a direct continuation from Fallout 3. It's its own self-contained separate game where you can just really put your mark on it. And I think and that engages people, I think, in a way that I think maybe The Witcher 3 doesn't do as successfully. Bear in mind, I am talking out my arse because I've never played either.
Yeah.
But this is just going purely on feeling, and I'm going to say Fallout 4.
Okay, so we've kind of gone quite a bit over time. So we're going to be talking about what we played this week, and then go into movies. So I'll just quickly go through the news and just kind of tell you what's kind of happened. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided delayed until August 2016.
Yep.
Payday 2's not backing down on microtransactions. They're still going to keep him in there.
Yeah, that's a bloody rip-off.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Jesus Christ. That's a con.
Yeah, I know. Plus, when they said they're never going to do them, and then they go and do them.
Yeah.
The Division is going to let you have 4 characters in the game. 4 more
Ooh,
characters,
yay.
yeah, so not too bad. Borderlands Online has been cancelled completely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been thrown out. We haven't heard anything about it for like a year, so...
I had never even heard of it before
okay,
that.
yeah,
So.
there's going to make a Borderlands MMO, and it's not happening anymore.
Thank God for that. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Rainbow Six Siege beta starts on the 25th of November and is going to be finishing on the 29th, and preloading can start on the 23rd. I'm going to be playing that. Looking forward to it. On my PlayStation 4, on Xbox One and PC, you can play it on. And Ryder may be the name of the Mass Effect protagonist.
Yeah, I hoped you were going to mention that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's likely, actually, that it's going to be Ryder. Or something similar. And I'll be quick about this, just because it fits. I think it was Sally Ride was the first American woman in space. Alan Shepard was the first American in space. That's where they got the name for it from. So yeah, it's a good name.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind being called Ryder. So anyway, there we go.
Okay, so what you been playing this week, Nathan?
Let's see.
This is the first time we've done this like an hour into the show.
I know. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is very strange to me and new. I don't like it. But let's see. Actually, the only thing I've really been playing, other than Pokemon.
Yeah.
I went back and played I played Pokemon Red, Fire Red, I think it was, on my Game Boy, or Ruby. I can't remember. It was one of them. But oh god, I love it. And I know I shouldn't love it, but I do. So yeah, I'm just a big kid basically. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. It was great to kind of reconnect with my childhood a little bit. So that was really fun, and it stands the test of time. Always fun to play. But yeah, I've been playing Fallout New Vegas again.
You got people like going like, "Oh, was it 4?" No, it's not.
No, it's not.
So, what have you been doing in a new character?
Sorry?
Have you been doing a new character?
I have not. I've been continuing my old character,
Okay.
and I've been wrapping up the DLC, which has been interesting.
Which
I finished Old World Blues.
Old World Blues.
Quite a while ago,
Yeah.
which was very fun. Throwaway stuff, really. No, actually, do you know, it wasn't. It was actually really great, and I would recommend that to anyone. I did Valiant Hearts, which was throwaway. That was a lot of fun, but it was throwaway.
What, Valiant Hearts the game, or is it a DLC for Fallout?
I think it's a DLC. I think it was called Valiant Hearts.
Yeah.
Or it might just be because I'm remembering the game and something like that. But it was something to do with Native American-esque tribes in Utah, in what people are calling New
Honest
Zion.
Hearts, it's called.
Honest Hearts, that's it, not
Yeah.
Valiant Hearts, blimey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Honest Hearts. Yeah, so that was pretty interesting, but throwaway stuff. Sierra Madre. Now, what was that called? I can't remember the name of that.
There's
DLC.
Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Old World
Dead
Blues.
Money,
no,
that's it, Dead Money. Dead Money, and Dead Money is very, very good.
Yeah.
That is, okay, not the best in the storytelling, well, no, it is very good in the storytelling department, but it's not great in the gameplay department. It's a bit of a chore to get through, but once you get through it, it's fantastic. The payoff, the story is essentially, you get to an abandoned Brotherhood of Steel vault, go inside it, get knocked out, you wake up with a bomb collar around your neck, and this old guy, Father Elijah, is telling you that his name's Father Elijah, you are going to gather a team to lead a casino heist on this kind of paradise, or this supposedly paradise.
Was it Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty?
Unfortunately not. Would you believe it's a casino called the Sierra Madre?
Yeah.
Close enough, isn't it? But no, yeah, you lead a team in there, and you know, you're running around the kind of complex before you actually get into the hotel, because apparently, as with anything, the hotel is not easy to get into.
Yeah.
It only opens on a certain day and in a certain way. That's how ridiculous it is. But yeah, so yeah, you eventually get in there. You kind of chore through all of these very, very difficult to kill enemies called ghosts basically, and in order to kill them, you have to behead them when they're down, otherwise they'll just get back up.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult, and you get into Sierra Madre with nothing, just into the kind of whole area with nothing, so you have to start again and basically scavenge what you can.
Alright, cool.
Which is very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole kind of idea is that Sierra Madre, the story is, once you know you can get to Sierra Madre, anyone can get to Sierra Madre, it's easy, but it's leaving again. It's kind of, they call it letting go, is the hard part. So all of these people that you're leading into the Sierra Madre on this heist, they all want something from it, and you know that it's going to be very difficult for them to get out once they're in, because you know they'll want to stay forever. And it's very interesting how, in a sense, the game breaks the fourth wall. You know, it's like it reaches directly out to you and latches onto the idea that you are greedy.
Yeah.
Not like you personally, but you have a lust for adventure, you have a lust for gold and treasure, and that, you know, that is why you probably will have gone to find Sierra Madre in the first place, because it promises you lots and lots of treasure. And of course it doesn't disappoint. When you get into the vault, it's all there in gold bricks, you can pick it all up.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in order to do that, not only are you going to have to kind of drop everything you have, but even then you're not going to be able to take all of it.
Yeah.
because it's all really heavy. So, and you know, you get into a conflict with his father Elijah. He makes depends how it happens, but either way, the place is going to blow up.
Yeah.
And so it ends on the kind of point of you have all this stuff, and if you're not prepared to let it go, you will die. You will get killed.
Yeah.
And it's strange how invested you get, because you do feel like you can't quite let it go.
Yeah.
And you're looking desperately for a way to get out without leaving it all behind. But one of my friends told me he managed it, but I don't think that's possible. You know, and
Can I ask?
It's great. Yes.
Did you just purposely quote Foo Fighters?
No.
Okay, alright, because it sounded like you did. That was such a big coincidence.
What's that? Go on then.
It was like, you're leaving it all behind. And I was like, hang on a minute.
Something's not quite right. Get out of town. No, I did not. I'm not familiar with the Foo Fighters.
Okay, right.
You know. And then the final one I played, and I'm going to kind of lay this out for you here, because in the end it was actually surprisingly disappointing. Was one called Lonesome Road.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll tell you the kind of story. All the way along the DLC, there is a kind of a meta story going on of this courier.
Yeah.
And this is the courier that refused to carry the platinum chip that led to the events of the game.
Okay. Yeah.
And all the way along the line, your character is hearing things about this mysterious other courier, and you know, this kind of puzzles you, and the kind of references to the courier lead up to Lonesome Road, and this what's supposed to be this kind of this crescendo, if you like, this is where it all takes place, and this is where it all goes down, and
Yeah.
you're going to have a big fight with Courier 6, and Ulysses, I think they call him. And,
Yeah.
this is where it ends, and you're like, wow, okay, this is going to be epic. You get in there, right, and you learn that Courier 6, this individual, his story is very interesting. So he was part of the Caesar's Legion, and he used to watch you go back and forth. You used to be an NCR courier, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
In your free time to the Divide, and the Divide used to be this paradise. Basically, it used to be a sign of a symbol. He called it of what America once was and what America could be.
Yeah.
So I think the idea was that this place was growing and it was building a civilization. And your character, your courier, he loved this place, so he made it home. But his constant, spending of all his time there attracted the attention of the NCR, and to kind of counteract that, attracted the attention of Caesar's Legion.
It sounds like a good story, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm not done yet. So Courier 6 is watching you go back and forth, sees this place, sees this hope, and goes, "Wow, this is fantastic."
Yeah.
I'm going to make a home for myself here, and I'm going to make sure that Caesar's Legion and NCR will leave it alone so that we can rebuild. It all kind of comes to a head when the NCR give you a package, your courier a package to deliver to the Divide.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to you, when you leave, what you don't realise is that inside that package was a detonator that activated all of the nukes beneath the Divide while they were still in their containment cell things, while they were still in their launch tubes.
Yeah.
So the Divide was wiped out.
Christ.
Earthquakes, tsunami, everything. And anyone who was left there, the NCR and the Caesar's Legion, anyone that was left became these horrible, hideous, worse than ghouls. They became marked men, and the radiation made them stronger.
Yeah.
So suddenly, and your guy had no idea. So suddenly, Ulysses, Courier 6, is looking around and he's going, I thought this place was a paradise. Now he's destroyed it. the courier has destroyed it. And Ulysses, in this kind of attempt to get revenge, he calls you to the Lonesome Road, and he says, this was the divide.
Yeah.
And you don't recognise it, obviously, because not only have you yourself not been there, but it's so different from when the courier was there. And Ulysses says, I'm going to make you walk through all of this, through the entire divide. You're going to see everything that you caused. And then, when you get through it, and when you see what you've done, what you caused, and when I make you do it again, then you and I are going to meet, then we're going to have it out, and then I'm going to destroy the NCR to see how you like it. And
I love that.
It sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, for me anyway, when I'm describing it to you, it sounds fantastic.
It does, yeah.
You know, and you've got this kind of choices, consequences kind of theme going on with you know, it's something that could be really, really engaging. Problem with it is,
no.
I had to do 3 hours of Reddit trawling to find out just what the hell happened in that DLC, because I had not a clue of any of that. Unfortunately, Ulysses, Courier 6, where he could have been really interesting, he just went off into these long-winded monologues that would make, you know, the architect from The Matrix Reloaded blush. I mean, Jesus Christ. You'd ask him a simple yes or no question with a yes or no answer.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes later, he'd finish his monologue, and you'd think, is that a yes or a no? I still don't understand. Why is he doing this? What's the purpose? What's going on here? Was I once here? I really don't understand what's going on. And, you know, you get this little robot, Eddie, and I have no idea what the fuck he's doing there. I mean, yeah, sure, he's cute. He's like R2-D2 light. But, I mean, really, what's he adding to the story? I mean, something about him having the detonator to activate something or other.
Yeah.
But after that, what the hell's the point in him?
Yeah.
You know? And through all that, I was thinking, this is really interesting. I'm walking along this. I'm thinking, as I was playing it, I'm walking along this path. Where did this come from? What is all this? What happened here? Why is this so devastated? I mean, you know, it's Fallout. Everything looked devastated, but this looks worse.
Yeah.
What's going on here? And it's a difficult thing to get through, to troll through, and then and it's interspersed with kind of conversations with Ulysses through Eddie, and you come away from them less and less excited each time, and more. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so we've just come back from a quick break, and Nathan had just finished talking about Fallout. So have you got anything else to add? Anything other games wise?
No, I was pretty exhaustive. I think I went on for quite a while. So nah.
Okay, so we'll go to what I played, and I've been playing quite a bit this week. But the first of all that I want to bring up is that I played the final episode of the Game of Thrones Telltale.
Oh yes. I saw the launch trailer for this. Looked pretty interesting.
I just want to give a quick background of the episodes.
Yeah.
Episode 1 was fantastic. Full 9 out of 10, maybe even 10 out of 10. It just set the world completely, and it was great. Mm-hmm. And used the characters really well. Second episode, one of the worst things I've ever played.
Oh, really?
It's basically, the first episode it takes place at the Red Wedding. Minor Game of Thrones spoilers. It takes place at the Red Wedding, and basically your lord has been attacked, is killed, and you're called Garrod, and you're running away, and then you're going back to Ironrath, which is your home, the home area, and then your mum and dad have been killed and everything, so you killed their killers, so then you're getting sent to the wall after giving this info, because you have to be, and all this stuff. It sets it up really well. Yeah. And then also down south you've got Mira Forrester, who is she's a handmaid to Marjorie Tyrell, so she's talking to Tyrion and Cersei, trying to get some, because basically what your family does, it produces ironwood, which is like this great component of making shields and armor and things. So she's trying to secure, but there's a rival family called the Whitehills that make it as well. And you're trying to persuade Cersei and Tyrion to take you on, and Tyrion says, "We'll take you on, okay, but The thing is, though, is that the White Hills and the Foresters have this big rivalry, and Ramsay Snow comes in and fucks it all up by siding with the White Hills and goes, you know what, you two fight each other, kind of thing. And it sets up pretty freaking cool, you know. And and you also play this guy called I think his name was Ethan in the first episode, who's this like child lord because the dad's just died.
Yeah.
So you've got and the thing calls who his oldest son has died.
Yeah.
And then you play as Ethan, and Ethan gets killed at the end of the episode by Ramsay Snow. And it was
this is a child, yeah?
Yeah, child, 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, and he chopped his neck off and everything.
Oh,
and
bloody hell.
it was pretty gruesome. Well, gruesome for the art style, anyway. And then the second episode, they find out that Roderick's alive, and he's pretty much fucked. He can barely walk. And you send out this guy called, I think his name was Malcolm, who was like a kind of his sidekick, to go and get Asher. And Asher was a son who was banished because he ended up going with a White Hill girl. So it sounds pretty interesting so far, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah, but the second episode is basically your little sister writing a song for Ethan's funeral. Mira, who's just kind of wandering around trying to sort out her friendships. Garrett, who's just training in Castle Black. So basically you're just smashing E or smashing Q. And you've also got Roderick, who's learning how to walk again. That's the second episode. Third episode, it's slow, uses some of the characters level, it kind of kicks up a bit. Episode 4 wasn't received well by the critics, but I thought it was really good because it's the whole stuff with Daenerys. Do you know she's going into Marine?
Yes.
And you're playing on the side of that, and you've got to make sure. And Daenerys says if you stay, do everything that this guy orders to tell you, then you'll get all your gold. But if you go away from that, you get none of it because you're trying to get the second sons to come back with you to fight for you and everything.
Yeah, I think you told me about that. Yeah.
And that was really interesting in the stuff with Mira's kicking up and Garrett's going north of the wall to find this place called the North Grove, which I'm going to get to in the final episode. And episode 4 was really good, and 5 was phenomenal because basically the end of it was that Asher finally got back to Westeros, and you've got to decide with either keeping alive Roderick, who was really the only character I really cared about, to be honest, and Asher. Which one do you want to keep alive? Because they're in this situation where they've got to keep the gate open, and you're like, oh shit, who do we do? And I chose to keep Roderick alive, and he escaped, and that was the end of the episode, and Asher died.
Aww.
Yeah.
Just after getting back home as well.
Just after getting back home, but you could keep him alive if you wanted to.
You heartless bastard.
Yeah, but and then episode 6 starts in this position where you're going home, you're going back to Ironrath with this army that used to be slaves, but who fight in the fighting pits, with coming back with Asher, and Asher's mate called Beska, who was all back with you, and they're all like, oh, do we fight for you now, and whatever, and then Roderick just kind of slapped some shit into him, was like, you're fucking fighting, bitches. And the White Hills, who attacked and killed Asher, are now attacking you. Mira, she kills the guy earlier on in the series because your friend's getting attacked, and you can choose to stab him in the back or not choose, and if you don't choose, then you get away with it. But I actually looked, 92% chose to stab him in the back, and if you choose to stab him in the back, that leads to you dying, basically. You can either die or choose to marry this bloke, but you're basically treated as a prisoner. And I was just like, okay, I'm dying, I don't like you. Yeah.
I'd rather die than marry you. There is no worse way to get.
But the story fizzles out on her end. You know, it's not as it kind of gets a bit dull the longer it goes on and everything. It started off really great. The problem I have was with Garrett Tull. Garrett Tull is kind of this, you know, starting from the bottom, now he's here kind of the guy, and he goes to this place called the North Grove, which is north of the wall, quite far north of the wall, and it's apparently this fortress which has got two of Lord Roderick, who's the guy who died in the first episode, two of his bastards, who are running this place, who are using blood magic to keep these servants going in this apparently random magical fortress. How the fuck they got there, I don't know. How the fuck did these other people get there, I don't know. But they use
north of the wall.
Quite far north of the wall.
So this is White Walker territory we're talking about.
Yep, and that's how the episode ends. For them, it ends with white. You do actually have a cool fight with whites, which was kind of cool.
Right.
But your mate dies, and one of the whites who you fight is someone you met earlier on in the game. But the interesting stuff was with Roderick. You know, the White Hills were attacking Ironrath, you're defending it, and it goes kind of against what I was expecting. Like you go around Ironrath, and basically they've got your little brother Ryan, and you can either go to save Ryan, who is attack. Who's going to be about to get his legs chopped off by White Hill's son called Lud, or you can go to kill the White Hill Lord and pretty much end the battle or anything.
Okay.
But what it kind of set up to me was that you're going to be able to save Ryan and then go back to Ironwrath and kill the Lord Whitehill. That's kind of how it set it up. And I was like, okay, I'll save Ryan now and then I'll kill him later on.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. No, you save Ryan, which is all good, and he's taken away by Beskar. But then also they attack Ironwrath, and then you just get annihilated. And like Roderick gets pretty much crippled again. The fucker can't die, and he ends up escaping. Your mum dies. A few of the people on the other army die who were notable, and it was a good battle. But I don't know. It just didn't. I had really high hopes with this series, the episode Audit Game, but it just didn't quite get it for me.
Yeah, in the end, it wasn't just quite what you were expecting.
Like, some of the locations were cool, and some of the features were really. It's worth playing for some of the moments in the episodes. You know, the episode 1, it's worth playing for. At the ending of episode 4 and 5 were worth playing for. This episode, there was just a lot of stuff up north, which I just felt like this is a bit too far fetched and a bit too rushed. You know. They had all this mystery for the North Grove, which they left to the last episode, and they didn't have nowhere near enough time to salvage it all.
I hate it when that happens. Yeah. When they're really teasing something and they don't deliver.
Yeah, it just got confusing, and I didn't understand a lot of what was happening up there. I don't think really anyone did, because I was like looking into questions online and like, what the fuck, how the hell do they get these people? And they're just like, I don't know, who knows? They're just there. But
they're just there because magic.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, yes, there's magic. Okay.
Yeah. My favourite part of the whole thing, though, was at the very, very end, when you finish in the credits. You've got Cersei, Ramsay, Jon, and Marjorie, Tyrion, and Daenerys are all talking about the mistakes and the positives that you've done throughout the thing. So, say, like, if you chose to charm Daenerys with Asher, she'd be like, he was a charming fella, and I like that. But, say, with Cersei, if you swore loyalty to Cersei instead of Marjorie, in front of Cersei, she would have been like, she was too weak and wouldn't, swear loyalty to her master, which she would only swear loyalty to me, which was put across to you as being the good thing to do at the time, but at the end of the game, it obviously wasn't. And stuff like that, I kind of liked. It's just that sometimes the characters, the Game of Thrones show characters, at times they feel really well placed, at times they feel forced.
Oh, you mean like they tried to put them in there as a kind of...
Yeah, Jon was really forced.
Right.
Jon was very much forced. Ramsay wasn't so much. Ramsay and Cersei felt right. Ramsay, Cersei, and Daenerys felt right. Marjorie felt a bit forced. Tyrion felt very forced, and he's basically in it all the way until he gets arrested.
Tyrion.
Yeah.
Right.
And you go.
So when does this take place?
This takes place across the end of season 3 and all the way till about midway season 4.
Right. Okay.
So about episode 6 or 7 season 4.
Right.
So yeah, and I'd say to you, Nathan, I'd suggest getting it on your phone and giving it a go. I think you would kind of enjoy the choices you get. I think the problem is that it is a bit flat. It is worth playing, and I think you can get it for get points during the year. You can get the whole thing for like a tenner. That's how I got it on my PC. I got the full thing for a tenner, and it is worth that, to be honest. Like, it's about 10 hours overall, 10, 12 hours, if everything full. It's worth getting. Give it a go. But it's just, at times you'll feel like, okay, right, alright then, okay, cool. But I did like comparing my choices to what other people did. Like in some cases,
that is always fun.
In some cases I'd be with the majority. In some cases I'd be very much with the minority.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, this is the thing for you. Me and Luca played the game on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Every single choice was with the majority. Every single one. He had to go with the right one. His version of the right one every time. And I was just like, no, you can't. You've just got to take it in the moment.
Yeah, that's the difficult thing sometimes about certain games. It's just like there's a right choice and a kind of choice where you can see what would happen.
Yeah, it's like
Game of Thrones never really feels like that kind of thing, does it?
No, it's like looking back now, if I was going to play it, I would have been a bit less bold with Mira. Like, I tried, especially in the later game, I tried to be like, right, this is what I'm fucking doing. You're going to help me or not? I should have been a bit more deceitful. Garrett, he was just I just played the retard, and it kind of worked. And Roderick, I played Roderick probably the best, but I think there is going to be. I get the feeling there's going to be a sequel, because there's like a post-credit scene where it shows that Roderick is still alive,
right.
and it showed Ryan escaped with Beskar, and Garrett was. You had the choice to either march south
Yeah.
with the whole of the North Grove, or you could stay to defend it. I was just like, I'm not going to end this blood magic fuckers go down beyond the wall. I'm keeping them here for the fucking good of the realm. I mean, so I kept them there. But like, yeah, there is some good testing moments when you can like nearly kill, show characters, and everyone just tried to kill them because it's like, can you fucking kill them in the game? And then,
like Cersei Lannister, I bet everybody tried to kill Cersei Lannister.
You couldn't try to kill Cersei, but you had a point when you had a knife on Ramsay's neck, and it said stab Ramsay.
What?
Yeah, and he said stab Ramsay
God.
or not stab Ramsay. And if you go to stab Ramsay, then he basically he does this fucking karate maneuver where he boots you on the ground and is like, "You're too brave." I like that.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
But yeah,
I fucking hate Ramsay.
I'm not joking. 94% of people pick that just to test it, just to be like, "Can you do that?"
So what is the right choice to pick there, so to speak?
There, it is trying to stab him because he's like, but if you don't choose to stab him, I saw the other way when it's like he goes. Oh, you're too weak, I don't like that. And then he starts beating you more. But there's a lot of death in it. There's a lot of death. It's just...
Yeah, it is Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's just the characters are not necessarily most interesting.
No.
It's like, you can tell that they do model them off show. Like, Garrett is very much Jon Snow. The mum is definitely Catelyn Stark.
Mm-hmm.
Mira is Sansa. Asher is Jaime. Roderick is kind of Rob, but a bit more smart, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a bit more clever because Rob Stark was a bit of an idiot.
Yeah, it's just
series.
it was really good, and I'd suggest picking it up.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, I'll give that a go.
Okay then, so we will move on to what else have I been playing this week. I played my Uzis, the football managers, the Rocket Leagues, but also I've been going to. Back to Oblivion. To Oblivion. It hit me like 3 hours after the podcast last week. I was just like, God, it's been a while. It's been a long time since I played Oblivion, like over a year. I should go back and play that. I put about 30.
I don't blame you.
I put 35 hours in this week. And
35 hours in 1 week.
Yeah, I played McCoy in it a lot.
Jesus Christ, Conor. Jesus Christ. So. Tell me about your character then. What's his kind of build?
My character,
story?
I'm playing a Breton. I'm playing a Breton male, and I'm starting off with. Normally in Oblivion, I use the sword and shield with the casting magic, to use. But this time, I thought I'm just going to go exclusive non-magic use at all, none at all. So I can't even heal or anything.
Wow.
So my health comes from like healing potions and things like that, and food and things. So I've been doing a lot of trying to. The fights take longer this time because there's a lot more. I'm not going in there going. I'm taking a step back and kind of judging it. But God, I love that game so much. I love that game. The moment I click play. And you just hear I was just like, it's been too long.
That does make you feel something, doesn't it?
It does.
It is something special. Yeah.
And
the thing I always liked about that was the I was kind of irritated they got rid of Skyrim, but the fact that you could just cast magic even if you were holding like a shield and sword.
Yeah, I did like that, but I think I prefer the Skyrim way where it accommodates a hand personally.
Yeah. I prefer that, but it didn't make me want to keep using magic.
No, like on in Skyrim, my favourite playstyle was the Battle Mage. To have the kind of steel plate armor and a cloth hood maybe, and then have a sword in one hand and a spell in another.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I enjoy doing. But it's just I haven't even touched the main story yet. I haven't been to Kvatch at all. Like
really?
I haven't been there. I've just been. The first, I'd say 5 or 6 hours, I was just wandering around having a look. I didn't even do a quest. I was just like, it's been too long.
Yeah.
And I'm having an absolute blast playing this game.
Yeah.
And
it took me a while to get to Kvatch, but the problem with it for me was it was the first Bethesda game I'd ever played. And I should really go back to it, actually. I was just like, I remember, I can tell you the story. I want to tell the story quickly. Yeah.
The very first time we met, it was like, it was in history, after I interrupted a Game of Thrones conversation, And
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
you just like I was you're talking about Game of Thrones, and Luke was like, I don't want to watch season 4, and I was just like, just to let you know, season 4 is the best season.
Yeah.
And then Luke
I
was
was like, thank you.
Yeah.
This guy gets it.
and then I ended up sitting next to you all and just talking to you, and then I was like, he was like, what's your favourite game? And I was like, oh, I really love Skyrim. I was like, I saw a lot of it, but I didn't really get into it. And I was just like, I get that, because let's be frankly honest. On the face of it, the Elder Scrolls world is very generic. On the face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just this fantasy land with warriors and, you know, undead monsters and dragons. It's very generic. It's just when you go deeper, when you realise how in-depth and good this world is. And I was like, you play an Elder Scrolls game, you're never coming back. And it's like, yeah, maybe I have to give him a go someday. And that's George language of going, I'm never going to play it ever. So I was like, right, I've got Oblivion on my Xbox.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I didn't. I probably at the time meant to play it.
Yeah.
But,
It's, I know. It's just that, like, you know, I come with George when he's like, you know, maybe one day I'll play Shadow of Mordor. After we did a fucking series on the damn thing. You haven't played it. You haven't played it.
Oh my god,
He hasn't played
George.
it. He got it for free on his computer and he hasn't played it. And
Oh my god.
yeah, and so I just went. I had Oblivion on my computer, which I played on, and I had Oblivion on the 360. And you said you had a 360, so I was like, right, I'm giving him this game. He's playing it. So I was like, I gave it to you, and I was like, let's play it. He's like, do you not want money for this? I was like, no, play the game, and then the conversation will be enough for me. And you played it, and you come back next week and just like, my life has changed.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I played it first night, I thought, meh. Played it second night, I thought, okay. Third night, I was like, fucking hell.
It's just that it's the feeling of, you know, when you're released, when you come out the kind of cave and you see the white gold tower and all the green and everything beyond, and you're just like,
from that point where it says, do you want to change?
Once you go out, you're just like, okay, what do I do now? And you just walk around, and then once you start to get to grips with what you're doing, and like got a few quests underway, you're like, okay, I see what this game's about. And then you're just like, okay, it's so good. And like, I think I love the Oblivion music a bit more than the Skyrim music. I think.
Yeah, I think it's more geared towards kind of adventure and exploration, and really kind of getting to grips with the kind of the world and the characters and the story and the politics and what's going on. Whereas with Skyrim, it's more of a kind of war theme.
No King.
Yeah,
but
exactly that.
But I think
it makes your blood boil, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I do think that the Skyrim soundtrack, don't get us wrong, you know, it's fantastic.
Oh god.
But like, my favourite part of the Elder Scrolls games when it comes to the soundtracks is that they use old songs from Morrowind and Daggerfall and Oblivion in the newer games. So, you know, even in Skyrim when you walk around, you'll still hear the one from Morrowind there. And you're just like, oh my god.
You're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah, it's just nostalgia. Like, you know, the thing that lets me down a little bit by Oblivion is the date it came out, because you can just tell, you know, how quiet the cities are and everything. But you know, it's just, I need a new single player Elder Scrolls game.
We all do. I mean,
know?
once you've really kind of polished off the Elder Scrolls, kind of the newest Elder Scrolls game. And admittedly, that takes a good 2 to 3 years with all the DLC.
Oh Jesus, yeah. It's like, I haven't even touched any of the DLC yet. I ain't even touched the Dark Brotherhood. I'm doing the Fighters Guild stuff at the minute.
Yeah.
I haven't touched the Dark Brotherhood yet. I've just done some miscellaneous stuff.
See, I have a set pattern the way I do things. I always kind of make it in my head so that I start off as a bastard.
Yeah.
So like, I'm always a dark elf.
Oh.
You know? I'm sorry.
I can't. I cringe when you say that.
When you turned to me, when I said when you said, so what race did you pick? And I went dark elf, and you went, fuck you. I was like, where the hell did you come from?
And then I told you all the story of the dark elf of how they worked alongside the Khajiit and the Argonians, and then they fucking enslaved them.
Yeah, I know. And by the end of that conversation, I was like, fuck me.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm such a dick.
Yeah.
But no, by Skyrim, seriously, by Skyrim, I felt the Dark Elves had taken their licks. I felt, you know, they paid for what they'd done. We can just, you know, brush over the whole thing, just forget it happened, and maybe my Dark Elf can be a good guy. But no, I always have a specific pattern. I go Dark Brotherhood, then Thieves Guild, then Mages Guild, then Fighters Guild.
I'm not like that at all.
Sorry?
I'm not like that. I'm always like in the moment kind of thing. I was like, let's see what happens when it takes me. You know, I think having a set pattern, it kind of distracts me from doing stuff I want to do at the time, personally.
Well, yeah. No, sometimes. Well, obviously, I do things like I want to do.
Yeah.
Like if I just feel like exploring, I won't bother doing the quests or anything like that. And with Skyrim, I think maybe it was the kind of the modernity of the thing. It meant that I wanted to explore it a bit more than Oblivion.
Yeah.
But there is no doubt, having played Skyrim, I want to go back and play Oblivion and explore everything, and maybe avoid the Oblivion gates because they're a bit of a pain in the arse.
They are, but
because they're the same place over and over again, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like dragons kind of improved that. Let me tell you about Skyrim. The first time you heard a dragon, like, holy shit, there's a dragon attack. The dragon comes down, you fight a dragon. Like, holy shit, this was incredible. Now, for about the good 20 times afterwards, you're like on your toes, Christ, we need to fight this dragon. Mm-hmm. But then, and then you heard the roar, and you're like, oh shit, like, let's get it going. Every time after that, like, you were just like, okay, a dragon, let me just kill it. Okay. And then when Dragonborn came out, they brought out the ancient dragons, which kind of kicked it up again because it got so much harder. And
and the different types of dragons certainly made it more difficult and interesting.
Did you ever have a fight with more than one dragon at a time?
Yes. And it was terrifying.
Yeah, I had three in one go once, and I was like, fuck! And then they all started fighting each other. It was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. No, it was that has happened to me before. It was two of them, I think. And I was like, and I was watching one fly at me from a distance, and then I heard this other roar, and, and the music starts playing, and I turn around, and there's another one, and it's like right next to me, and all of a sudden they just kind of sidewind each other. I was like, shit, they're not here for me, right? I'm running, and then suddenly a giant throws itself into the mix with its mammoths.
Yeah, it's stuff like
and
that.
It's like
so
a giant clusterfuck, and you're just running for your life.
Yeah,
and because I was like, I don't know, probably level 56 or 57 or 58 at the time, I can't remember, but even at that point, I'm there thinking, I can't take all these guys.
Yeah.
I can't take this. But they improved that. For me, one of the abiding memories was in Dawnguard. And I know Dawnguard wasn't, I think it was Dawnguard. Yeah, it must have been. I think it wasn't really that great.
Dawnguard I thought was a bit lackluster, to be honest.
It was a bit like what?
Lackluster.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. There were some interesting new features, the crossbow.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
But to be honest, though, I used my bow more than I used a crossbow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just, for me, it had superior range, and by that point, I could use it better, and it was more powerful.
Yeah.
My bow, because I had it dragon bone, so
yeah.
And I had dragon bone arrows as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't need it, but I think one of my abiding memories is actually in Dawnguard. It was the scene where you're walking across this kind of like icy lake. And all of a sudden, out of the surface of the lake burst up these dragons.
Yeah. That was Dragonborn.
Was it Dragonborn?
It was Dragonborn. Yep.
Because I seem to remember, I was looking for one of the frost elves. I was looking. It was a frost elf because he was going to give you Ariel's bow or something like that.
Ariel's bow. I haven't. If you're thinking that, then that was the Daedric quest. If you look for Ariel's bow. Oh no, Ariel's bow. No, that was Dawnguard. Oh shit! Hang on, 1 second. Ancient dragon coming through. Hang on, I'm pretty sure it was Dragonborn.
I think it might have been Dawnguard. It was one of the two, definitely.
You're wrong. Skyrim. Oh no, you're right. Oh shit, yeah. I remember the quest. I know the exact quest you're talking about. And when because Oriel's bow is obviously the yeah.
Yeah, you fight. Right. It's immensely powerful. You fire it at the sun.
Yeah.
It's just this inferno.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's some of the weapons you get. Like, did you ever do the Sheogorath quest?
I did do the Sheogorath quest.
The Wabberjack. Yeah.
It was. The thing about that quest was they unashamedly broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
With the what was it? Something about the cheese wheel.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then he just winks.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, Gorath.
Yeah, like one of the things he says is like he's like mother of fish sticks. Like fish sticks is one of the like inside jokes in the Elder Scrolls forums, like the old ones. They always say like a joke is fish sticks, so like they've just put that in there. So I was just like, okay, that's kind of weird, even for Sheogorath.
Well, that quest was actually really difficult anyway.
It was,
wasn't it?
yeah.
It was ridiculous. I had no idea what to do.
The amount of times I was just like, how the fuck do I get out of here?
Yeah. And you were trapped as well. There was no way you were getting out.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you, where do you want the next one to be?
I was going to ask you the same thing, actually. I really want it to be, elsewhere in Black Marsh.
And Black Marsh?
Yeah, I kind of want it to be kind of both. I reckon they could do it.
I think if they're going to do Black Marsh with another one, it'll be Black Marsh and Morrowind, because I'll tell you what's happening at the time. At the time, the Argonians are kind of pissed at the Dark Elves.
There was a... Sorry, I'm just going to put my knowledge to the test here. There was a portal, wasn't there, opened up between Black Marsh and Morrowind?
Yes.
And the Argonians invaded.
Yes.
Morrowind after was it Red Mountain?
Yep. Yeah, that was a bit ago, yeah. And then everything kind of... Well, basically the Argonians and Dark Elves... the Argonians and Dark Elves had a fight against the Dwemer. And after the eruption of Red Mountain, the Argonians had like red eyes. The Argonians was able to escape back home, and the Dwemer went, and no one knows where they've gone since ever. No one knows. That's like the biggest mystery of the game.
That would be fascinating to explore.
Yeah.
Did they ascend? Did they manage it? Yeah.
The thing is, though, the only game that's ever gone in the past is the Elder Scrolls Online. So they've always They've always gone forward, and with at the time of Skyrim, just after Skyrim was finished, the Argonians are now preparing to invade Morrowind. They're starting to invade. They've just gone into the land. So if they're ever going to do one with Argonian and another one, I think it would be Argonia and Morrowind as the Argonian invasion, or you can pick to side with the Dark Elves and defend. That kind of thing. But
that makes a lot more sense.
I think that will be the Elder Scrolls 7, personally.
You don't think that's going to be Elder Scrolls 6?
No, I think that will either be 7 or 8. I think the next one is going to be tying up all this Imperial stuff.
What you mean, Thalmor?
The Thalmor, the Imperial. I think it's going to be either take place in either Hammerfell and Cyrodiil to tie it up there, because Hammerfell's kind of like in a war-driven state at the minute, or it's going to take place in elsewhere. Vale and Wood and Somerset Isles, and tie it all up there, because they're either two locations that it could finish off. I don't think it's going to be High Rock, personally. No, I think it is going to be multiple countries there this time.
Yeah, I think it kind of has to be, because they've done all the big regions, and I think elsewhere, and the reason I said elsewhere and Black Marsh together is because they're like right next to each other.
They're right next to each other, yeah.
So I thought the really cool thing would be if you're walking through this like jungle area, or this marshy area in Black Marsh, and you're watching it slowly transition into more jungle and desert and sand, and you see beaches and that. A really tropical environment in an Elder Scrolls game would be really weird, because I'm really kind of used to Skyrim by now. But I'm not sure about it being Cyrodiil, because would they really want to return to Cyrodiil? That's the thing.
That's the thing that's put me off. Like, but if they're going to do Hammerfell, and if they could do Hammerfell on its own,
because they've not actually done Hammerfell, have they? They did Daggerfall.
Yeah, they did Daggerfall, but it was all randomised locations, so it wasn't like it had the set art style, but it was like randomised areas. Like Arena was the whole of Tamriel, but it was randomised every time you left the house. Yeah. So, but with the wet dream is always to have all 9 provinces, each one being that retroactive size. Like Skyrim is as big as Skyrim, Cyrodiil's as big as Cyrodiil, kind of thing.
Yeah. And although that can never happen, we dream.
Yeah, we dream. Maybe in the future one day. Maybe one day. But,
20 years' time.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, but like that's the dream. But I don't think it could happen. But, I think they're going to finish up the Empire, and... Yeah. Because that kind of happened during Skyrim, and I think it's going to end with this one. And then the next one is going to be the Argonians and everything, and the Dark Elves and everything with that. And then... After that, I don't know, maybe Akavirian invasion again, you're all kind of rallying to defend. I don't know what they could do after that, but...
Maybe they could move into another region, because, Tamriel, or that
There's a continent,
area, it's just a continent, isn't it?
They've got Yunkai, the Yunkanirian Islands, which is where the Red Guards are from, but that's all underwater now. They've got all the stuff that's north, where the Nords are from.
Yeah.
I was going to say I don't want it to be there because it was described as an icy hell, but in Oblivion, Skyrim was described as an icy hell, and look how fucking beautiful that game is.
Skyrim was beautiful, yeah.
There's...
And I think if it's going to be anywhere, I think you're right. It'll be Valen Wood and Somerset Isles.
Yeah, and elsewhere. I think it could be the whole three of the Almeri Dominion.
Because... But isn't elsewhere... Hang on a minute. Where'd you call it? I just call it Valenwood. I always thought that was more northern.
Valenwood is
elsewhere.
No, Valenwood is on the borders of elsewhere. It's south of Cyrodiil. If you look at the bottom of Cyrodiil,
okay.
There's two countries there at the bottom. There's three countries at the bottom of the south border. There's Blackmarsh in the southeast. In the middle of the south, there's Elsewhere, and there's Valenwood next to it. Valenwood is just a complete jungle, and Elsewhere is, at the minute, is like, you know, very much deciding whether to join the Empire or join the Almeri Dominion, because the Almeri Dominion at the minute is not the Thalmor. They're like the good guys. At the minute, in the past there wasn't, but at the minute they are, and they're rallying against the Empire to try and fight them back, and everything. So it would be cool if you could decide whether because you could go with the Empire and then the Empire take over and win, or side with the Almeri Dominion and wipe out the Empire and restore it back to its like 9-province glory kind of thing, or maybe change after that and decide to try and take over Tamriel after that. But yeah, I want that. I want it definitely to be available because Wood Elves are my favourite race in the game. High Elves...
Aren't they cannibals?
Here's the thing.
Oh, here we go.
They've got this thing called the Green Patch where they live because they escaped when the elves arrived on Tamriel. The High Elves went to Somerset Isles, and God, this is so fucking nerdy, but it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, what the hell happened? I mean, I'm sorry, listeners.
Yeah, but
just bear with us.
All I've been doing this past week is reading the wiki and playing Oblivion. That's all I've been doing. And basically the Wood Elves, they escaped and went to this place called... they went to Valenwood, and they had a pact with the trees there, saying that like, all right, we're not going to eat any plants or anything, and we're not going to tarnish the area of the thing. So they only eat meat. So like they herd animals and never kill all them. But if they ever kill a human or a humanoid in the land, they have to eat it. So before any big battles, it's noted that before any big battles on Valenwood, they go without eating for like 3 or 4 days.
Themselves.
Yeah, so then they can just fucking... But
that's fantastic. You're a cannibal.
That's
fantastic.
But here's the thing. I'm not, because my Wood Elves in Skyrim and Oblivion, they moved out of Valenwood. They don't eat their shit.
Oh, right, okay. But what would be really awesome is if you could get a Fallout style cannibal perk if you were just playing as a Wood Elf.
Yeah, but I don't know how they'd get around that if they was going to do one, but they could do away, you know, maybe have a dispute between the Green Pact and the Wood Elves, and maybe a bit of fighting going on. Oh, that'd be sick. That would be sick. And then, oh my god, you're fighting against the trees and shit, and the trees are like attacking you, like branches. Like, oh my god,
they had those, didn't they? I seem to remember there were trees that could attack people. Am I thinking of something else?
You're thinking of something else completely, but like they could. You're thinking of Narnia, right?
No, I'm not thinking of Narnia. There were definitely the Spriggans. That's what.
The Spriggans. Oh yeah,
they reminded me of trees.
Yeah, they're forest things. Yeah, forest. Yeah, but like, I kind of want even like the bullshit speculation to begin about Elder Scrolls 6, just so I can just get a little bit.
Yeah.
Of, you know,
just a taste of the Elder Scrolls.
Just to talk about, just something to talk about related to Elder Scrolls.
And I'm gonna be here this time.
Yeah.
I've never experienced the hype train like right from the start.
My first Elder Scrolls game was Oblivion, and I played that in about November 2011. October 2011. I got to about level 10, level 15, and then I was just like, I got Skyrim for Christmas because I didn't really play it that much, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go play Skyrim. And then I just fell in love with it. Went back to Oblivion, fell in love with that. Went back to play Morrowind. It was a challenge, but with mods that helped me. I loved the story and like loved the premise of it, but God, playing that without mods. I'm going to tell you a story about Morrowind.
Okay.
When I first played it, there's this area. There's like the South Hark mine, which is like near a city called South Hark.
Yeah.
And it says South Hark mine is southwest of South Hark. So you go to South Hark, and should I tell what it means? It means you take the main road out of South Hark, which is going north. And there is a branch road. So once you've gone a bit road. There's like one goes left, like which is west. One goes southwest. One goes north. So you go that southwest. So in actual fact, the actual mine is northeast of South Fork. It's just to go southeast on the road. But you don't know how many hours I was looking for this fucking mine. Just walking around. I was doing like, do you know when you go in Snake, when you're going back, or when you can't find a word in a word search, and you're going back and forth,
Yeah.
I was doing that. I just couldn't find it. So I had to go online and have a look where it is, and it was like, it's northeast. And I was like, why? Why?
Those bastards lied to me.
Yeah. But yeah, like with mods, with the accurate attack mod and everything, I was able to get through it. But yeah, I'm going to be playing more Oblivion this week. Probably more tonight.
Yeah, Morrowind is one I've always wanted to try. I've never kind of got round to it, if you know what I mean. And I kind of feel like I have to play it with mods. Yeah, I nearly borrowed it.
You'll have to.
Yeah, I nearly borrowed it from a friend, but I don't want to be contented with all that dice roll kind of thing.
Yeah, like it's it's hard to deal with, and plus you've got to live with what's it called? Permadeath. So you've got to keep saving it. If you don't save it, it doesn't autosave. It doesn't autosave, yeah, because it's like it's 2002 in it. So
of course, yeah.
I didn't make that mistake because I knew, because George already made that mistake for me. Because he originally, this is a story for the viewers. Originally, when we started doing the channel, George did a Let's Play on Morrowind. He was going to do the full Elder Scrolls, and he went out the road and he set up his character and everything. He was doing pretty well, and he went all the way out and turned right and everything, and found this cave. Went into the cave and got killed by like a little worm because his dice roll in it. He didn't know. So he got killed, and then he had to start at the beginning, and the end of the episode is him going, "Oh shit!" And then he installed.
I'm gonna go back and watch this now.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it in my presence sometime because it is privatised.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
but you can watch it sometime. But like, God, yeah, and he played. To be fair to him, he played about 15, 16 episodes, and he just couldn't be doing with the mechanics anymore. Because like, there's one where I'm not joking. It's the easiest quest in the whole game. You've got to find a specific mushroom, and it has a picture of the mushroom on the thing. It's low res, but you can see what it is. And the thing about Morrowind is that it's so old, is that he hasn't really got a lot of lushness around, so things just pop out. So he's walking around this lake. Where's the fucking mushroom? Can't find it. This is impossible. If he just turned around and went like an extra 10 yards, he could find like 10 of them. He's like, I can't find the mushroom. He's like, oh, I'm just giving up. And he never put an episode out again of it. And he tried to play Oblivion. He did like 3 episodes and got bored. And then did 2 episodes of Skyrim. And then he ended up playing Skyrim like quite a bit later, didn't he?
Yeah.
After he told you, he'd had like 100 hours into it.
No. What he basically said, and this made me laugh, was he said, "Oh, I love Skyrim. I love everything about it." And he was going on about that, you know, as he does. He went on for it was an entire history lesson, and history lessons, for those who don't know, at our college were an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
He was going on for that entire history lesson non-stop. I didn't even get a word in about Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I thought, son of a bitch, he must really know this game.
Yeah.
He must really know this game. I spoke to you. He went, yeah, you know, he's only ever reached level 10.
Yeah.
He's always just got bored after level 10. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
He can talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
To be fair to Joey, he did watch me play a lot. Like he'd come around to my house, you know, when we were preparing for the Elder Scrolls Online, and if we weren't playing FIFA, he'd go on his laptop and go like, right, we'll go on Skyrim and I'll help you do this and that. So to be fair, he did actually watch me a lot.
Yeah, I know he did, but it was just that kind of thing of, yeah, we only ever got to level 10.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, my guy could have crushed him with his little finger.
Oh, it's like, the amount of times I've re-rolled on Skyrim is incredible. Like, I played it like fully twice on my Xbox, and then I've got 200 hours on my PC. So overall, I'd say I've got about 500, 600 hours into that game.
I wish I knew how long I'd played.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's like games are starting to do that now. Like The Witcher 3, I know that I've played that. The current save that I've got at the minute, I've played that for 68 hours. That's the current save. I don't know how much I've played fully, but yeah.
And with Fallout New Vegas, I know I've played 80 hours.
Yeah.
I know, and it just says straight up 80 hours played.
Yeah, I like when games do that, because that's my favourite thing about Steam, to be honest, just to see how much I've played. Like if I go on my top games that I've played, Skyrim. Football Manager 2013 is 341 hours.
Yeah. Jesus.
You're thinking there, like, how?
How is exactly what I'm thinking, and also why, and
then,
also when, and also where.
And then after that, it's Football Manager 2015 with 261. And then after that, it's Skyrim with 213. Then Oblivion with 184. And then after that, it's The Witcher 2 with 111. And then it's Civilization 5 with 100 exactly. And then it's The Witcher 1, which is 83. And my God, like, I've never bullied through a game so much than The Witcher 1. It's so rough, so rough. So,
Wow.
Right, let's do a quick movie segment, shall we? Or do you, have you got anything more to add? Anything more?
The only thing I was going to say, and I hope this doesn't open up a whole another kind of discussion.
If it does, I don't care. We'll just extend because we had a break, so this is a treat for the viewers.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The only reason I said Argonia, the first thing Argonia came to mind, the Black Marsh, was because of that leak that came out. You know, it wasn't even a leak in the end, was it? I think.
Yeah.
It was
to
fake.
Be fair, yeah. Well, like it could have been. Like, there's been a few. You know, there's been two real strong leaks. Like in 2013, there was Elder Scrolls. The Elder Scrolls series, Bethesda trademarked the word the franchise Redguard. To be fair, they did have a adventures game, Redguard. And this was at the time when Apple was buying everything that wasn't trademarked, like everything. Yeah. So maybe it was to just protect the franchises. But what got everyone excited was that Redguard had a brand new logo, and it was in the same writing as there's Oblivion and Skyrim. So people started thinking, like, could it be Redguard in Hammerfell? Could it be?
Yeah, but no, this one was
Argonia.
Definite. They just went Argonia.
Yeah,
and I was thinking, because I just started playing Skyrim.
Yeah.
And it was at that point I was head over heels in love
with
the franchise. And I just went, this just seems too good to be true.
Yeah.
They've already announced another Elder Scrolls game. You know, this just seems too good to be true.
And it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was. But having said that, there was a lot of teasing that, and a lot of kind of counter kind of teasing for Fallout, that it was going to be in Boston.
Yeah.
For Fallout 4.
To be fair, that's true. That's true.
That was a long time before it came out, and everyone was going, "Oh no, it's not going to be Boston. No, it's not going to be all that." And then it was.
Yeah.
So I think if there's been something dropped this early, and it looks kind of genuine, it seems to me that it could be Argonia. There is enough there for me to think it's Argonia, but I do also like the idea that it could be. For me, kind of Almeri Dominion.
Yeah, for me, I want it to be Almeri Dominion. For me personally, because I think the stuff they could do there, the different cultures to explore, is some of the stuff that I'm most interested in. I know I was just thinking about this. I know that when it's the rumours for Elder Scrolls start getting rampant, we're probably going to have an Elder Scrolls show. We probably are. Like the conversation we're having at the minute. We've just been talking for half an hour about Elder Scrolls and nothing's been announced. Nothing.
No.
So I think. You look forward to that.
Everything look forward to that. Well, don't worry, because that's not going to be for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time. Like maybe I'm hoping the rumours start in about. It sounds stupid that rumours start happening in a year, but I was always looking at Fallout and all this stuff like Fallout. All the stuff leaking and all the rumours having around in the conversation. I'd always feel like. Why can it be Elder Scrolls? Why?
It's the Elder Scrolls' turn. I mean, I know they had it last go, but shouldn't they get two?
Yeah. It's like Fallout had 2 in a row. Yeah, we had an MMO, but it was shit. So we don't talk about that.
Nobody mentioned the MMO.
Biggest letdown of my entire life. That was biggest letdown of my entire life. I mean, I'm not joking. This is just quickly. The other day, I was listening to privatised stuff. Look, this isn't actually privatised. The ESO Sunday stuff is still on the channel, and it was we did an episode every Sunday because we was excited because we wanted to talk about the lore of the game, we wanted to talk about stuff, and some of the stuff in it is dreadful because me and John are kind of scared to talk to the camera because we just kind of started, but when we towards the end we started getting confident, we were talking about the beta and everything. And like I said to you, we just kind of rushed through everything. The first 10 levels of that game, we were just kind of overthrown. We was like, oh, this is great. The stuff that it got is great. The PvP is great. To be fair, the stuff we said in that was true. But then when we played the game and started taking note of everything and realised that everything's the same and everything's just a bit bland and there's no improvements throughout the game, we're just like, this is so shit. And then,
Yeah.
but you could hear the last one we did before launch. You could hear the excitement in our voices. Like
Yeah.
George tipped he's going to do 2,000 hours in the game. He did. Yeah.
George was walking into college and graffitied all over my books for the Queen.
Yeah, like that. Looking back now, where they fucked up is that they had this big thing of faction pride. You know, before the game came out, everyone would go into forums like for the Queen or for the Pact and everything, talk about their alliance. The company would release, ZeniMax would release loads of lore about the alliance and stuff, and everything would be, you know, so beautiful, and everyone would talk about it all the time. And me and George would talk about battles all the time. It was all so well done. But the problem was ZeniMax Media Inc., who were the suits and the men in the offices, just went, oh no, if you pre-order now, you can be any race in any alliance, and it just screwed everything, because everyone was like, oh fuck you, Pact, yeah, I'm off to the Amaro Dominion now, and everyone was just like, oh no, and it just kind of killed it, you know, all that stuff.
Stopped it right in its tracks.
Yeah, and like that was, looking back, you know, they kind of did their own kick in the balls, really.
Yeah, dug their own grave, didn't they?
Yeah. Anyway, let's not make me cry.
Jeez, that was mammoth.
Yeah. Let's go into movies. I saw the Steve Jobs film.
Oh yes, the Michael Fassbender one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be a shit show.
Yeah.
And let me just say, I actually did an assignment on Steve Jobs in Year 11 for my IT, so I kind of know a lot about him. I know a lot of what he did. Seen a lot of documentaries. The film is actually surprisingly accurate with the stuff it does. You know, the stuff it says. The way, it's accurate, but not the way it's told. You know, the way it's told, these things didn't happen. Like the way it's told is that he's got 3 set pieces. 1985 when he's announcing the Mac 2. Yeah. 1988 when he's announcing the next Cube, and then in 1998 when he's announcing the new Apple Mac, which is like their probably most famous computer they've ever had.
Yeah.
And basically, it's only 3 sets, and it's kind of 3 shots, basically. It's got flashbacks in them, but for the general part, it's 3 shots. And the stuff that happens in there is like Steve Wozniak asking him for credit for the first Mac team, and then Steve Jobs not giving it. Then things like that happened, but obviously not 10 minutes before he was going out for a presentation. You know?
Right.
And
so
like,
that was dramatised.
It was dramatised, but like in the extent of what happening, like what happened was that Steve Wozniak did, ask for praise. Steve Jobs wouldn't give him it, and then Steve Wozniak went to the press and told everyone what happened. Rightfully so, to be honest, because let's be honest, Steve Jobs was an arsehole.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And then it was dramatised in the way that these places happened, but these things did happen. Like the boss of Apple at the time, the CEO, would congratulate you, go like, good luck, you're the main man of this company. And then when the Mac 2 flopped completely, he got rid of him. And then like one thing he did in real life, which they actually cut out of the film, which I didn't understand why, is that he went to China on the CEO of Apple in 1985 to like secure a deal with the Mac, whatever. And then Steve Jobs, then when he announced it was it failed, he then flew straight back and fired Jobs and then went back again and left his suitcase on the plane. He didn't even get it. He just wanted to fire him immediately. I don't know why they got rid of that, to be honest, but yeah, there's some interesting stuff in it. Fassbender was really good. The music in the film was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, like the music, like my favourite scene in it was when I forgot his name, but the CEO of Apple, who resigned like in like 91 or whatever, he had an argument with Steve Jobs in 88, a massive argument about everything that happened at Apple, because this is after Steve Jobs left Apple. Because if you didn't know, Jobs left Apple and then he came back again after the next Cube. And but this was like before the announcement of the next Cube, he had a massive argument with him, and then it's got flashbacks going on at the time, but you can hear the voices and the music going over. It's like building up the tension. It was like a 2-3 minute scene, and it was fantastic to watch. It was really good. And I was expecting it to be a shit show, and it wasn't. I was kind of surprised. It was an enjoyable film. The person I watched it with, he didn't enjoy it. He said he thought it was dull. But I actually enjoyed the film, and I'd suggest to go watch it. I know you don't like biopics, so you probably won't like it, but I saw a film that was a biopic, well, kind of a biopic, K-19, that you enjoyed.
Yes. You didn't like it, did you?
I did like it.
Oh, really?
I did like it. I enjoyed the pulling the Mooney at the American ship.
Yeah, that was funny, that.
I enjoyed hearing Liam Neeson's impression of a Russian accent. Like,
Yeah, Harrison Ford's was better.
yeah, like hearing Liam Neeson speak in a Russian accent, it sounds like it just sounds like Liam Neeson impersonating a Russian accent, doesn't it?
It's like when it's like the Family Guy sketch they do. Liam Neeson being a cowboy. It's just Liam Neeson with a cowboy hat
Yeah.
on. It's he's actually made a joke about that. They did the Family Guy sketch, obviously, and his kids came home from school utterly, really, really, really upset about it because they
Everyone
were
took the piss,
embarrassed,
yeah.
and they said, Dad, they made fun of you on a show called Family Guy, and he went and he looked at this and he YouTubed it and he said, "Oh, it's not that funny. I don't really get it. It's just, that's just me. I just do that, And so Seth MacFarlane rang him up when they wanted to do A Million Ways to Die in the West, and this is so the story goes. This is how Liam Neeson told it. He said, so would you like to be in A Million Ways to Die in the West? You can play a cowboy, you can play the bad guy. And Liam Neeson said, I will do it, but only if I can just be me dressed as a cowboy, because I think that would be funny. And so they let him do it. I thought that was really, really great, actually. But yeah, no, he's not the best with accents. He can't do an American accent. He's terrible.
Oh, Jesus. But you can do a good I will find you and I will kill you accent.
Yeah.
And that's basically every film has been near enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed this film. I was surprised to see it didn't do well at box office, did it? It didn't even make a profit.
No, it didn't. But it got very well received critically, I think, or from some of the things I've seen.
Interesting, but yeah, I enjoyed this film. It's better than that other one you showed me.
Gross Point Blank.
Yeah, it was crap. That.
Okay, well, this would be a bad time to bring up the fact that I haven't watched Rocky 2 yet.
After our good friend Brad sent us a Rocky poster.
I know. I'm sorry, Brad. I'm sorry. I didn't realise.
All the way from Basingstoke.
I know.
Basingstoke.
I will watch Rocky 2 and Rocky 3 this week.
Right, and
my word.
Yeah, Rocky. I saw a post that said Rocky 3 was the worst one, and Rocky 3 is my favourite. It's got Mr. T in it.
Really?
Yeah, it's got Mr. T. Mr. T, the guys he fights.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I just assumed he'd fight Apollo in Rocky 3?
You don't fight Apollo in every single one.
Well, I know he fights him in Rocky 2, and so I just kind of assumed that was it. That's it for the next kind of Rocky film. But I know he doesn't in Rocky 4 because I know he dies. And because it's the Russian, isn't it?
Yeah, I will tell you this, that he is in Rocky 3.
He's in Rocky 3.
He's in it, yeah.
Right, okay.
I'm not going to tell you what he does, and I'm also going to tell you that Rocky has a robot, and Rocky's son plays with it.
Oh no.
No, it's a comedy sketch. It's a comedy part.
Oh, right, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a serious part. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
It is funny.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Paulie gets him a robot for his birthday.
Oh, poorly.
Yeah.
After all that shit he pulled.
Yeah.
You're damn right he gets him a robot for his birthday.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's but yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay, I will watch Rocky 2 and Rocky 3, and I'm glad you liked K-19.
I enjoyed it more than Gross Point Blank. You've got another film for me to watch?
Oh, no, I had something that was really good that I thought you might be interested. Yeah, if you like biopics, have you seen one called Senna?
I have, and I love it. It's not a biopic; it's more of a documentary, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, let me think about this.
I saw the Ronaldo film, which was directed.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that.
Don't.
No,
terrible. It's directed by the same people that made Senna. One of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not really anything about football. It's more about him and his son.
He has a son now, does he?
Yeah, he's got like an 8-year-old son. And more about his mum. I think I know his mum more than I know my own after watching it, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Well, he liked his mama.
Yeah, there was nothing in there about his first Ballon d'Or win, nothing about him at Man United or anything like that. Not really anything about Alex Ferguson. There was only one little bit about Alex Ferguson and his dad. So yeah, it was crap. I didn't even watch the last 20 minutes of it. I was just like, I've had enough.
Right, okay. No, I was. My brother really wanted to see that, so
yeah,
I'm going to warn him off that.
Yeah, forbid him the disappointment because it's just awful.
Yeah, absolutely, I will do. Here's one, right? Judge Dredd, Sylvester Stallone.
Hang on, I think that Angry Joe has just released his Fallout 4 review.
Oh,
He
really?
has just now. I'm watching this as soon as we finished it.
Shit, well, no, we've got to stop now.
Yeah.
I want to watch this, Jesus.
George,
I was going to watch I'm a Celebrity once we finished here, but no.
Yeah.
Shit, I've got to watch Angry Joe's review. How long is it?
34 minutes.
Oh, yes.
I could have
34 minutes of Angry Joe goodness.
If I said
Couldn't
4.5
be
hours,
better.
you'd have been like, oh yes, as long as Lord of the Rings Extended Edition.
Yeah.
Judge
Oh.
Dredd. No, I haven't, but I'll give this a watch.
I really want to know what you thought of it.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
I haven't seen it yet. I'll say I will watch it. Sylvester Stallone's in it, so I might like it.
Yeah, well, I will just lay this out for you.
Oh my god.
Right now, I'm giving you this now.
James Earl Jones
because-
narrator. Oh my god, I need to see this film.
Yeah, because I don't want you to enjoy it as much as I want you to laugh at it.
Yeah. I can
It's
just.
that
I'm laughing at the picture. I can tell. I can just tell what kind of film this is going to be.
It's that kind of film. You enjoy it because
It's got Rob
it's
Schneider?
hilariously bad.
Oh my god.
It's got Rob Schneider in it
I
as
need this film.
the guy you just want to die, and he
I-
just doesn't.
I need this film.
And I tell you what the best thing is.
What?
It's the way they pronounce law.
Oh, I need this film.
I am the law.
I need this film.
Yeah,
Um,
you need this.
I need it in
you
my
are
life.
gonna love it.
I
You
need
are
it in my
gonna
life.
love it.
I cannot wait.
Yeah. It's so punishingly bad that it's good.
Okay, so I think we're done here.
Yeah, right. Well, this has been a mammoth one. to be
2.5
fair,
hours. To be honest, all the other ones have been 2:20, 2:15. They're all around the 2.5 hour
I don't
mark.
like change, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, 2.5 hour show from now on. Yeah. That's kind of what it is, to be honest, because we try and cram everything into 2 hours, and it just ends up not working. So
Yeah,
We might
because
as well
there's not
just
enough
stick to
room. There's not enough room
for
us
gaming
to-
and film, you know.
Yeah, there's not enough room for gaming and film and for our hilarious banter.
Yeah.
And obviously, all you guys want the banter. So,
Yeah.
we've got to oblige. We've got to give you that.
So yeah, last thing, if you want to send any questions, send them to either dagoratv@gmail.com or put them in the comments of your video. Predictions for the Devillion competition, put them into the comments below. If you want to send us anything, that would be cool. It's at the High Cambridge Street in Manchester, M156AA. I've got that written down.
It did sound like you were reading it out.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, send us that, and then we'll collect it. And yeah, thanks to Brad and Jacob again from Denmark and from Basingstoke for the Rocky
Blimey,
poster.
From Denmark.
Yeah, from
did you say?
Denmark. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Thanks for
Good man.
thanks for sending the book. I'll give it a read. And thanks for the Rocky poster. And Nathan will be putting it up in his room.
Absolutely, I will. Absolutely will.
So
I'm very, very grateful for that.
So yeah, if you want to check out all the patrons or Nathan's India money raising thing, you can check them out in the description below. And I think that's everything. Have you got anything else?
No, nothing more to add.
Okay.
Again, I'm very, very hungry and need the toilet really
Yeah.
badly. So.
So let's just quickly let's go up on the channel. There's a Game of Thrones Telltale video coming out probably in the next couple of days.
Fantastic.
There's a Division video out which has been re-uploaded. You can check that out if you never saw it. And I think that'll be it for this week. I think maybe get the first law video out. Maybe we'll see.
If you're lucky,
We'll
so
see.
Be good for goodness sake.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I've got all day.
Conor clause.
Yeah, I've got all day to edit it. So we'll see. Right, and I think that's everything. So, you want to say goodbye, Nathan?
Goodbye, Nathan.
And goodbye from me.